This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
Hi, we're Baconsale, and we're here for the right reasons. We're not here to make any friends.
No.
It's nothing personal. We came here for one reason, and one reason only.
Yep.
To win.
Be a bikini. What?
Yes.
To be in a bikini? To be in a bikini.
In a bikini.
Is that why you're wearing a bikini
And to be
tonight?
a bikini.
Yes.
Okay, it all makes sense
It's the
now.
only
You
way
guys
to get
planned
ratings.
this.
But don't objectify me, even though I'm doing the show in the nude.
What? Family friendly. Can't start out like that.
There's not a
to Naked
bikini
and
underneath the table?
Oh, no. Welcome to Baconsale. I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
And Jacob.
And we'd like to thank
Naked Kent.
No. It's not start.
No one knows. It's a podcast.
It relates to
Kent
what we're
in
going
the
to talk
nude.
about today, but we'd like to thank you for listening to our last week's episode, the comic book episode with our guest Spencer Myers. Thank you,
It was
Spencer.
awesome.
And it's funny because we got comments on the show, but we also got a lot of comments about the picture, which showed Spencer gracefully laying in a pile of comic books.
Spencer should have been in the nude. Let's be honest. With the
stop
comic
it.
books. Not
Why?
Kid. It should have been Spencer.
Actually, Spencer is a really good sport
I've
because
spent all this week trying to tell people how family friendly our podcast is. You guys are messing it up right at the beginning.
why would you lie like that?
Do I need to say something
Because that's
nicer,
us.
like Nakey?
No.
Kent is Nakey.
I can spell it out. But no, Spencer was such a good sport because after we did the show, and it was a longer show, and by the way, if you're a patron, you can get the uncut episode now on patreon.com/Baconsale. But we're like, hey, could you stand there gracefully? And we coached him, and he
Hold up your
stood
arm like this.
outside, and
You're
he
like,
was just
I'm a little
worked out. And I'm like, what a stud for doing that.
And yeah, we
You
appreciate
should have
him
said you
being
caught
here.
him in a candid when he was just singing Little Teapot for us.
Indeed.
Yeah. Speaking of patrons, don't forget about Scary Date Night with Baconsale. Just one time, I want you to put real lightning in post.
Maybe by the end of the month.
What this is if you are a patron of Baconsale, meaning you patronize us at patreon.com/Baconsale, will be entered to win a scary date night with us where we will go to dinner and then we'll go to a haunted house. It won't just be you. You don't have to be creeped out with just you. You can bring a guest. We're okay with that. We've decided. And that's going to be a drawing on October 1st. So if on October 1st you are still a patron of Baconsale, then you will be entered into this drawing because that's when we're going to do the drawing.
Gonna be so good.
Speaking of patrons,
Speaking of that,
we have a new patron, everybody.
Woo woo.
Brian Sorensen.
Brian Sorensen.
Brian
Welcome to the club.
Sorensen.
welcome, Brian.
Brian Sorensen is now a tier 1 fan of Baconsale, which means he got this thank you. He's also going to get a t-shirt, and he's going to get access to uncut episodes of Baconsale.
Indeed.
And Behind the Bacon posts on Patreon, which is where we show you kind of how the sausage is
Sometimes
made.
you don't really want to see that on nights like tonight.
Well, like we did this one Behind
Kent.
the Bacon just recently where it was a conversation we had where we made funny faces. I pulled...
Conversation or you bullying me?
I was bullying Ken.
Joel
and
cyberbullying.
entertaining the crap out of me.
Yeah. I took captions. I took screenshots of his face during a video when he was making weird faces, and I put captions.
I wasn't
below.
making weird faces. I was speaking.
Yeah, it was awesome.
On camera.
It was great.
So yes, that's
so funny.
That's some of the perks you can get by becoming a patron.
Joel was
of
pretty
Baconsale.
mean, though.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That was brutal. Yeah,
It was like Joel 2016.
Yeah, I love
And
it.
then also Brian, since you became a patron this month, you also get to torture Jake. Torture Jake.
Because he hasn't chosen anything yet, I guess.
Not yet, but
Okay.
what he's going to do is he's going to be able to pick a food
Bring it on,
or a
Brian.
show or a movie that Jacob has to watch and then review on Patreon. So if you become a
Let's see what
patron
you got, man.
during this month of September, there's only about a week left, I think, then you get to torture Jake.
Guys, it's almost
1
October.
week left.
It's almost October. We love October so much.
It's coming soon.
Why are we whispering?
I don't know, because
It sounds creepy.
But that's
All right.
not what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today, Jacob?
Today, it's time to welcome our very special guest. Go ahead and say hello, Mats.
What is up? My name's Matt. Nice. I still don't know what that song is, but it's okay. It's a fun song.
So
It's a fun song, he
Matt's
says.
is on the Bacon Council, and we met up for a dinner back in the summer. Got a little planning meeting going on with the Bacon Council at R&R Barbecue. It was quite delicious. Not a sponsor, but still delicious.
Needs
Very.
to be.
And we were there, and Matt's it made me laugh because he was like, I loved all the songs you did for everybody, except I had no idea what mine was. Of all the songs you could have picked, you picked one I didn't know. And so I had to show it to him then in the restaurant, and still he does not know
Still
it.
have no idea. I know my parents would like it. I still haven't shown it to them. But
But
yeah.
Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So
And then end with what we're talking about
yes,
tonight.
of course.
Oh, yeah.
So it's so lame. I'm literally ever since I graduated high school a year ago, I haven't had a life.
Hold on. A year ago.
Yes. So I am
school?
19. Yeah, I graduated high school a year ago. I'm 19.
Nice.
So about 4.5, 5 years ago, we did a show with a millennial. I don't even think. I think you're younger than that. I think you're a Gen Z.
Yes, I am a Gen Z, and it's really fun listening to the millennial shows you guys do because I'm just like, I disagree with everything.
So what you're saying is when Baconsale started, you were not able to drive.
Yes.
Wow.
What I'm saying is that I found this because I was researching about Joel, who performed in Divine Comedy when I was 6. So that's a fun.
Oh my god!
Wow. Sorry, because you joined in 04, didn't you?
I 03 actually.
03. I was 3.
Joel's
My
an
bad.
old. Joel's an old.
My beard just got so much grayer.
We didn't know it was possible, but there it is.
It looks good. It's different than the mustache at BYU, so it's a nice change.
Continue, Matt. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. So basically, in high school, because that's all I can really talk about, I did have a pretty good active life. I was active in literally anything I could do. I was one of the founding members of the Bingham Ballroom team. I was an officer my senior year, and then I was also really involved in theater. I was Beast and Beauty and the Beast my freshman year, and that was super fun. Cool. And then
Do you have a good growl or roar or something?
No. I would be like, roar, and like they were just like, okay, it's middle school, so who cares?
So the Beast is startled. That's the voice you have.
Yes, exactly. I was such. Oh man, it was a time. It was a time. And then I also competed in speech and debate, which is going to be kind of the transition, because my first year competing in speech and debate, I am a competitive public speaker.
Nice.
And in my events, you get to choose any topic and you just have to talk about it for 10 minutes. The topic I chose to talk about was game shows. And I gave a persuasive speech arguing that if more people watched reality television, the world would be a better place. And I was regional champion for that speech.
Wow.
And it was really fun. I beat out a girl in a wheelchair talking about being in a wheelchair. I know. Literally, you have all these people talking about politics, and then there's me over here talking about watch game shows, and I beat all of them. I don't know what to think.
No, you specifically said.
Go ahead,
Ashley, I love you. I really do. You're my favorite. I love you. You're not listening. I know. We haven't spoken in years, but I love you.
I wonder why she doesn't speak to you anymore.
I know. I wonder why. And then I also beat this girl talking about fat shaming. It was a fun time.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
So game shows wins.
Yeah, game shows wins. But I mean, you can tell because she has over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube now. So
What?
I mean, who won in the end, right? Like,
Hey, but now you're a guest on Baconsale.
We have a listener.
that's right.
So,
oh my goodness, you guys do have a listener. I totally forgot. Listener, you are the greatest, and I can't wait to thank myself when I get back home.
Now, when you say, the thing is, it's funny because when we say game shows, because there's game shows and there's reality TV.
Yeah, let me
there's a weird
define.
Define.
Because when we
and
talk
which one
about,
are we talking about?
Yeah, so today we are talking about reality competition shows.
Right.
And what that
There we
means
go.
is that my definition of a reality competition show is that it takes like normal everyday people, and then they have to be sequestered from like everyday society where they compete for a prize of some sort. So game shows like Wipeout's fun, and that's technically reality, but it's a one-day competition. That's not what we're talking about.
More of a game show.
Yeah, exactly. Price is Right. I mean, gross. Really, people lose. No, Price is Right is actually like the worst show, and all those prime time. Oh, they are the worst.
Save for our game show.
Yeah, I know.
that's gonna
I know.
happen.
Oh, but Legends of the Hidden Temple. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm
That's
obsessed with Legends
hold on.
and Nick Arcade.
Matt's, you gotta
I'm
slow down.
obsessed. I'm
Matt's, you gotta
sorry.
slow-
I
slow it down.
love TV. Like I said,
This energy is
So
awesome.
here's the thing, though. It's like when people think reality TV, a lot of times they think like the Kardashians.
I know,
or things like
I know,
that.
and it's like-
and the problem is that reality competition is so much different than that. Because to me, reality shows are the boring ones where you're just watching someone live their life,
Yeah.
like the Osbournes or the Kardashians.
Or it's got to spin like,
Real World.
19 and counting, or,
Yeah.
like 16
Honey
and
Boo Boo,
pregnant,
something
things
like
like
that,
that.
yes.
oh yeah, they got divorced. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, well, don't they all?
But
Yeah,
the
pretty
thing
much.
is, but I really enjoy reality competition, and that's why I tell people that's not I don't like reality shows. I like reality competition. And so when
Let's
you
be
said
best friends.
I'll tell you this. So Matt's here. He gave us 21 shows to review, and he gave us links to all of them so we could watch at least one episode. We had to watch at least one elimination because in almost all these shows, they eliminate someone after an episode, and every week someone's voted off or cast off or killed off. And
Sometimes, yeah.
But that's the thing is, like, I thought I knew a lot about reality competition shows because I watch a few of them, or I have watched a few of them. But there were someone here I'd never even heard of.
Yeah.
And Matt, I'm going to tell you right now, I thoroughly enjoyed the research for this show.
I'm so glad.
Thoroughly.
It's
You
nice.
dug deep on this, or maybe you just knew this, because some of these shows, and I'll say most of them, it's 1 or 2 seasons, and we will describe
Yeah.
each one as we go.
Yeah.
But how did you find the majority of these?
Well, because if we were doing this as Bacon Cell without you here, we would have looked at like the
10 biggest.
the top 10 biggest ones, most rated ones, and then talked about them.
There's not even, like, enough. Yeah.
You were pulling random ones like off of like what was one of the channels like True TV, and
Yeah.
I'm like, why this one?
Everybody listens and watches True TV.
so,
Yeah,
Matt,
no.
I have a confession. Joel loved this research.
I did.
Yeah.
This is probably my
knew he would.
least favorite TV genre.
It's okay. It's
But
okay.
I'm
It's not for everyone.
I'm
so-
about to contradict myself because I actually really enjoyed the research as well. So what we did is watch the first episode or 2 of 21 game shows.
Yeah.
I don't like these shows typically, but you did not include the one that I actually watch, which is The Bachelor.
Oh my goodness. I know I need to commit myself to watching The Bachelor more often. My issue with it is that
Is that reality?
No,
is that
you
reality
shouldn't commit
competition?
yourself to watch
I
The Bachelor.
should.
You'll be
I should.
committed if
'Cause
you
no,
watch it.
'cause- and then we'll talk about it later, but there are just certain shows within the reality competition genre where me, as a reality competition
'Cause-
junkie
yeah,
and
yeah.
fan, like, I have to watch these shows.
Because I'm going to throw this out
It's
there.
such a touchstone
The way
for
that
that
these shows are
genre.
edited, it's all similar, right? They all
Yeah.
have their tropes and cliches
Yeah.
and the
The soft
confessionals.
music when they're doing something
Right, or
sad,
the intense music. And I would say
Or like the confessionals.
And I would
and-
say there are a few that, like, we could even do a part 2 because, like I said, The Bachelor edits this just like it is a competition.
Yeah.
Even though it's finding love.
The issue with
Love in the Wild.
Yeah.
Right.
The only issue with The Bachelor that I have is that the process doesn't actually work, and because of reality
Wait, what do you
competition,
mean?
it doesn't work. No,
They don't find love?
Yeah, they don't find love.
Hey,
Kent,
3%
actually.
of those couples are still together.
Are they though? Are
Three?
they?
3%?
I don't know. I made up that number.
But that's the thing. Like, I host. Okay,
That's
so
probably
here's
right.
another thing. Like, I started hosting game shows when I was 14, and that's something we can talk about
So
if we
last
want
year.
to. Pretty much. Yeah, but like 2 of my contestants got engaged because they met on my show. So I have a better ratio than The
Hey,
Bachelor.
do you want to have a
And,
game
like,
show with me on it?
Yes. No, Kat, like, I'm not kidding. Like, I really will. I mean, you're at a singles ward, right? I can do an activity.
Mid singles award.
Yeah, let me do an activity. I'd love to.
Yeah.
No joke. Yeah, I would.
What?
You think I'm joking?
it.
I will take any reason
Hey,
to
Matt,
do a game show.
based on your
intensity
intensity right now, I know you're not kidding.
Yeah, like I said, and that's the thing. To answer Ken's question earlier about, like, did I dig deep? No, this is all surface level for the information that I gave the guys. It's all surface
So
level.
these are all you didn't choose any ones that you hadn't watched before and just wanted to try out.
Yeah.
like these aren't obscure ones that you didn't know about. These are ones you've actually watched and enjoyed.
These are all ones that I've researched, and I know the outcome, and I know the format of every single one.
Did you purposely pick some stinkers in
Yes,
here
yes,
that
I
you
did.
knew we weren't going to like or that you don't like?
I picked some ones that I thought it would be fun for Joel and Kent to talk about.
Okay.
Okay.
And it is.
Excellent choice.
Can I give some producer secrets, like behind the scenes stuff, behind reality shows?
Don't worry, I will
That's
too.
a great idea.
And these aren't specific behind these particular shows, but like producers have come out and said, like, for example, the reaction shots that you see, it like pans over real quick after someone says something. Those aren't necessarily the reaction shots from that moment. They'll splice that in.
Yeah.
They also do the same thing with sound clips.
so
They-
annoying
They,
anytime I
call
see
it,
that.
they call
Yeah.
it Frankenbiting.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
It's only annoying though if you think of it as reality, because it's not reality. It's a fictionalized,
But it's edited to
presentation.
be
But
reality,
it's-
though.
No, but it's not. It's not.
It's-
It's their purpose is to tell a story. But the fact, like, and this is the thing, is that they script the story,
Right.
and
Yes.
that's the issues. But they don't script the competition because they
Right.
can't. And so what matters is the competition, and
What I
that's
was
all
gonna
I
say-
care
And that's
about.
why you like the competition one.
Well, here's what I was
right?
going
Because
to
it has
say,
to be
Ken, is
real.
You can't get mad
Okay.
at them and then like professional wrestling.
It's true. No, it's totally true.
That's what I'm saying. Though, and I'm not bashing on professional
Yeah.
wrestling. I'm saying if you
No,
go into
there's a
this,
story, and they need to follow it
yeah, and
with some.
if you go into this knowing it's a
differences.
production and that you're not getting anything real, it's like this semi-real package. Then you get into it, and you're like, oh yeah, it's all
Yeah.
fun.
Isn't it crazy how, like, the producers, they'll get people drunk just to start drama?
Oh, yeah. No,
They'll
they-
start,
Bachelor in Paradise.
they'll start rumors so people
Yeah.
will, like, hate the other competitors.
Well, no, I actually listened to a podcast recently where they were talking to someone who did one of these shows,
Mm-hmm.
and they said that they would get them in a room and be like, "Hey, what do you think about Tina?" And they're like, "Oh, Tina's fine." And they're like, "No, but what don't you like about Tina?" They're like, "Nothing. I don't want to say anything bad about her." Like, if you had to say something bad about Tina, what would
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
say? And they'd be
No.
like, "Oh, well, Tina's a little bit annoying." And then they'll edit it. It'll be like, "What do you think of Tina?" "I think she's a little bit annoying."
Well, that's exactly.
And they'll
Well,
add-
that's like
they'll
the
add some
point,
beats.
though, and that's the point. And then it's like I'm someone, and we'll learn about this through the episode. But I'm someone that is 100% team production, because like the competitors, like if you're going to go on a reality competition show, you should have read all those contracts. You should have known everything beforehand. You should know that what you're going to say is going to be taken out of context. Like that's what
Yeah.
you signed up to do.
A lot of people come off
not
the
to
show
mention
saying-
not to mention you're getting paid every single day that you're there. So it's like
And Matt's, these are actors, right?
No.
they're all. No, I'm not saying they're like.
no, it depends on the season.
They're not Jerry Springer actors. they are aspiring actors because once they're on something like this, they enter the Screen Actors Guild.
No, wrong. That is a stereotype that everybody assumes, and it's wrong.
I don't know how you win the public debate. Maybe you just shame people.
Like I said, public speaking, not public arguing. I am saying wrong. That is so wrong.
I would say not actors. I would say personalities. The people that go on these shows obviously have a personality they want to show.
They're on TV for a reason, Mats.
No.
They're aspiring actors.
No.
You can say no all you want. That's what
that's not true. Did you even watch Home Free? Did you think any of those people were actors? No.
No, you're misunderstanding.
Did you think any of those people were actors? Did you think that Sheena and Jamal were actors?
After this show, yes.
No, they weren't.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. I'm seriously about to blow.
I'm not saying they're getting cast to be on the show.
Oh my goodness, we're not even 20 minutes in. I'm about to blow a gasket. Oh my goodness.
I'm loving this so much.
So Mats, Ken, let me diffuse the situation here.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not Mats, if I may clarify. What Ken is saying, not that they're actors faking who they are.
Yes.
But that they are auditioning to be on a show, therefore there's some sort of
You're on TV
performance
for a
element.
reason.
Internal drive that likes the attention that's related,
these
right?
Like,
is that what you
on
mean?
Extreme Home Makeover, for example, these people are picked at random. They're not saying, well, they're not picked at random.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But what I'm saying is, like, the people on Home Free, they went on there knowing, okay, we're going to be there, we're going to be on TV, and they auditioned for the process, which means
and their celebrity status.
Did you even see the white team? They were not big characters whatsoever. And that's what I want to talk about with Home Free specifically, because
there's a personality that wants to be on reality television.
Yes.
There is a personality that wants to be on television, but there's a difference between casting and the casting choices.
Right.
Like they have to get. Oh my goodness, there's so much.
This is so good.
I want to talk about, but we're already like, oh my goodness.
Okay, let's move it on. So,
right,
Mats,
are we really ready?
We're ready.
Wait, Mats, are we good? You want a hug?
No, it's fine.
Yes. Don't say no. Stop saying no.
No, it's fine. I'm over it.
I don't think he means that, Ken. I don't think he's fine.
Wait, are we going to do questions? I was excited to do the questions.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
I remember the questions.
Yeah, you guys always remember the questions.
Here's the questions we always remember, Mats. Are you ready?
I'm excited, yeah.
I want you to answer these as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Don't think about
Speed
it too
round.
much.
Okay.
Ready? Which is better, Karate Kid 1 or Karate Kid 2?
The one with Jaden Smith.
You gotta go. So wrong.
You gotta go. Mats?
No.
I haven't seen the other two.
No.
I didn't know there was a sequel until I listened to this show. Like, I really didn't know. Okay, but yeah, episode 1. Sorry, Karate Kid 1.
Karate Kid episode 1.
Which is worse, Star Wars episode 1 or Star Wars episode 2?
Oh, episode 1.
Okay. Do you rate movies using stars or letter grades?
Stars.
Okay. Which is more America, Rocky 4 or Independence Day? Let me finish the question, man.
Sorry. Hey, you said speed round? I'm playing to win.
Is Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or Christmas movie?
Gave me nightmares, Halloween.
Buffy
Nightmares?
or X-Files?
Yeah. Buffy. Haven't seen X-Files.
Lord of the Rings or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Which is more Christmassy, Die Hard or Lethal Weapon?
Don't know. Whichever one Joel picked.
Lethal Weapon.
That's the only time
It's finally happened.
Whichever one Joel picked. Is that how we're playing
Phantom
this
of the
game?
Opera or Les Miserables?
Les Mis.
And Labyrinth or Neverending Story?
Labyrinth.
Okay.
That's pretty even.
Was it?
But then he said whatever Joel said.
I'm considering it a win no matter what.
You take your win.
Just for that.
I got that one. Someone listened to the episode and realized the truth.
They're trying to give you the bone.
All right, there's the questions. Now let's dive into it, Mats.
Cool. I'm excited.
Okay, so we have 21 to go through. Tier 1 being the highest, Tier 2 being the middle, Tier 3 being the lowest.
How many do you get for each tier, Joel?
So we have 21 categories, which means 7 tier 1s, 7 tier 2s, 7 tier 3s. We put them in those categories so that Kent can't give everything a tier 3 and I can't give everything a tier 1.
Indeed.
And Matt's has them ranked as well, which I think we'll find interesting. So, all right, the first one is none other than Survivor.
Well, you got to start out with Survivor because that is the king daddy of reality competition shows. And this is one that I watch on a regular basis. I probably have only missed about 3 seasons of the of all 30.
And you told me recently they were starting up a season 39.
Season 39 starts Wednesday.
They just finished filming production for season 40 back in March.
If you miss a couple episodes or the first episode, do you just not watch the whole season? Because you
I go back and watch them.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. Like I missed a couple. I don't remember. I missed the first couple because I was actually on my mission. I came back in season 3 with the Africa episode. But let me jump into the little statistics here.
Nalia. I love Nalia. Anyway.
So there's 38 seasons of Survivor, 568 episodes. It started in May 31st, 2000. And it's one of those shows that if you don't know what it is, I don't know where you've been, because it's everywhere. Like the phrases like the tribe has spoken, and like just seeing Jeff Probst around.
Yeah,
like,
just like the general idea of voting people off the island, everything to do with reality competition started with Survivor. Like Survivor is
in
like
America.
the kingpin. Yeah, in America. Yeah. Because Survivor was originally based off of another show based in Europe, right?
In Sweden, yeah. It was actually Expedition Robinson in 1997.
Didn't they actually have someone get killed?
I don't remember. But here's the thing, though. So the Expedition Robinson, I didn't do too much research on that, but apparently it started in 1997. It's still going, but it's only had 15 seasons. Like they only do one every couple years.
Yeah,
weird.
they're just not as popular.
But Survivor, a group of people are sent to an island, an exotic location. They're sequestered from the outside world. No phones, no TVs, no electricity. They have to survive off the land, and then they play in competitions for rewards such as food or comfort like pillows, or they also play for immunity, because at the end of every 3 days or so, they will vote someone off. So it's 16 players, 39 days, one survivor.
So Joel, I know we could do a whole show.
We could
on this show.
We could,
but why do you like this show so much?
It's funny because this show, like my when I came home, my family was really into it, and they're like, "You got to watch Survivor." And I was pulled in almost instantly, like
because this doesn't seem like a thing you'd want to do. Like this doesn't. This doesn't seem like you at all.
What do you mean you would never be on Survivor?
I get so hangry. I get so hangry.
That's the point. Who cares? Imagine how unhangry you'll be when you have about 650 grand.
Cares.
I would be miserable on the show. Like the thing is, I think I wouldn't do well in the physical challenges. I wouldn't do well. I'd do okay in the social game until I got hungry or uncomfortable.
How would you do with conspiring with others?
Oh, that'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
Although the
you
problem
really
is
like that part?
Well, I do, except for the fact that
I think you'd be bad at that
I wouldn't
part.
be a villain. I couldn't be the villain.
Then be the hero.
I tried to be,
Cyberbullying.
but they always get voted off.
What do you mean he was voted off? What seasons have you missed?
I can't tell you how many times though I've picked out why someone gets voted off. Like they start like making themselves a leader too early, and I'm like, no, don't do that yet. Like I've watched so many seasons
strategy
that I can predict almost what's going to happen, but it's still surprising every season.
The key is to just lay under the radar until you make it to jury, and then play hard jury.
Yeah. Anyway, we're getting to the weeds here because just a little more things about the show. So this in 2007, the series was included in Time Magazine's 100 greatest TV shows of all time. In 2013's TV Guide ranked it number 39 of the 60 best series of all time. It has consistently been one of the top 20 most watched shows through its first 23 seasons.
Think of how it's permeated pop culture. Like there are rides based on this, amusement park rides, board games, video games, DVD sets for a reality competition.
It's also funny because some of these people, and I say this because in the moment when you're watching the season, every player is important, and you know personalities, and you get so mad when your favorites get voted off or when the bad guy gets his way. And then you'd grow to love some players and want them to win the $1 million at the end. And it's the most important thing. And then after the season's over, it's out of my mind. Like I can only remember out of the 38 seasons, I could probably only name like 10 winners off the top of my head. And it's just weird.
Also, fun fact, producers have been known to cast Mactors on the show, which are good-looking people that they need to fill out the cast.
Mactors?
Yeah, they call them Mactors.
That's true.
What is that called?
It's true.
Or what is that a portmanteau of? Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Yep. Something good or something. Mactors. I don't know.
Actors you want to mac on?
Made-up actors or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Pretty much.
There was one. There was
Survivor,
one season.
Yeah, Survivor does generally. They don't cast fans all that often. There was one season where I'm sure you're about to mention, there was one season where there was literally only one competitor that actually sent in his audition, while the rest of them were people that were casted by because they got
How do you get cast?
They got hounded. They got hounded because they weren't diverse enough, and so this one season they only took one audition person, and then they did diversity casting for the rest of the.
I mean, how do you even do that? Like, do you go out and
they do
find people?
generic casting calls for celebrities. Like season 18, they had Taj, who was an amazing player. I love her, but she was like a singer, but she heard about the casting call because they were looking for African American females, and she was like, okay, I'm an African American female.
Urban Dictionary says a Mactor is a model actor.
Oh, okay.
So model actor.
Okay,
makes sense. We talked about this one for a long time. We're not going to talk about the rest of this long because this is one of the big ones.
It is.
But obviously this is a tier 1 for me because this is actually one of the few shows I watch live on TV now. I don't watch many TV shows anymore live. This one is one I will make time for because it comes out on September 25th, and I'm excited to start watching this next season.
I've seen one season of this show, and I enjoyed that season, but I haven't cared to go back. But it's a tier 1 based on the others.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so one thing I want to say is that the game of Survivor literally is the greatest game that anybody could ever have, like, the blessing of ever being able to play, like, in their entire lifetime. It is.
I'm pretty good at Settlers of Catan.
Exactly. Okay, but no, like, playing Survivor, dream come true for me. But in terms of it being a reality competition show, it is literally the worst reality competition show ever. It is bottom tier 3.
No.
And on my official breakdown of my 21 shows,
hold on.
It was...
I'm so confused right now.
Is this some sort of
disrespecting your elders right now?
And on my 21 tier list, it was ranked as number 18.
That's ridiculous.
Survivor is the worst show.
Wait, because it's not entertaining, or you have some sort of like moral qualm with it?
It's because of the culture surrounded. And when I say this, it's like, again, growing up, I was obsessed with reality competition, but I didn't even watch Survivor until I was 10. Like, I've been watching reality competition since I was 4 or 3. I have no memory of
so
not
you're giving
watching
it a tier
reality
3.
competition. Yes, but the reason,
if you want to find me, you can find me at 76 Joel on Twitter. You can find me before we quit.
You know what, Joel? It's okay. Only Slackjawed Yokels would rank Survivor tier 1. So
Survivor is the best.
No, it's not. And let me tell you why it's not. It's not the best
Hey,
one.
Mats,
Do you know what?
Mats, Baconsale approved. Tier 1.
Tier 1. Yes.
Let's hear your arguments.
Do you know what a purple edit is?
No.
Joel, do you know what a purple edit is?
I know Survivor's awesome.
Okay, Kent, do you know what a purple edit is?
I do. Google it right now.
Yeah. So, the purple edit in the Survivor fandom is based off... There was this girl named Purple Kelly because there was another competitor with Kelly on the show, and her hair was dyed like one streak of purple, so she was named Purple Kelly.
I remember this one.
She made it to the top 7 and then quit, right? And she was just awful. But she made it super far into the series, yet didn't have a confessional shown of her until one episode before she got eliminated.
Wow. Okay.
And it's the point is that
because she's not interesting.
No, but that's the problem though. Is that Survivor is focused?
She wasn't a good actor.
No, Survivor is focusing more on telling the story rather than just showing the competition. They're focusing more on telling this hero.
Good.
No, but that's the thing. The fact that the show can last so long and have a winner's edit and a purple's edit and like people know what this is. The fact that you could give up 39 days of your life and then only get shown like 5 seconds of your overall time.
It's a bit crazy, right?
Yes, it's crazy. Unfair and it's ridiculous.
But they should have read the contract. They should have known what they were in for.
But that has nothing.
That
has nothing to do with. That has nothing to do with the competitors. That has everything to do with production.
Exactly.
The editing team.
But they know. But the editing team, they don't get the time.
No, the editing team. It's their responsibility to make sure that. Yes, it's their responsibility.
Matt, this is a big one. This is a big one.
No. Okay, it's fine. I'm over it.
Is it fine?
I actually get over things really quickly. In case you didn't notice, but
you should get over yourself because Survivor's tier 1.
Stop it.
All right.
Tell me that when you watch more game shows.
Since you're so engaged. Since you're so engaged with this, I think I'm just going to read off these. I'll keep moderating, and that way you can just keep arguing.
You might have to put a timer on him.
I don't want to take that away at all. All right, next show, Total Drama Island. Sounds like Ken's dating life. Am I right?
Hey, watch it.
Can't give the premise on this.
So it's a Netflix animated series where it's a copy.
No, it was Cartoon Network, originally Teletoon in Canada. Sorry.
No, that's perfect. No, I like details like that. But essentially, it is a riff on Survivor or many popular gaming reality or competition shows, all thrown together in a big animated casserole.
But it's all fiction. This isn't a reality competition at all.
So it's voice actors acting like contestants and doing challenges and getting voted off this island. But it also, definitely has a story and caricatures.
And this one was one where... it was weird because they said it was edited for U.S. audiences. Like they bleeped out words and blurred out body parts and things like that. But it's so PG. Like it's so squeaky most of the time.
So I was watching this one and it's 20-minute episodes and most of these are about 40 minutes.
And this was 2007, 2008, the first Total Drama Island.
Season,
And the opening song really got me because it's all about, like, it literally says, I want to be famous. And I was like, yep, I know. And then the opening song finished and the show started and then I stopped caring altogether. This is a tier 3 for me all the way.
Good for you.
Like the first episode, all it did is introduce the characters. And
22 guests.
They literally are
the entire
just
episode.
stereotypes.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's literally
like
they walk in. It's like, hi, I'm a stereotype. Hello, stereotype. Go over here. And then another person comes in about, hi, I'm a stereotype.
Yeah.
There was no joke. There was no humor.
Yeah.
This was by far one of the worst things you made us watch. And I laughed in the 2 episodes. I laughed. I chuckled maybe once when the girl in the green fell off the boat and hit her face. That was the only thing I liked. And it was kind of one of those, That was it. No laughter. Did not enjoy this one. I got through I was so mad I had to watch a second episode to see an elimination because I was miserable. This is a tier 3 for me as well.
I completely forgot that I made you guys watch too. Total Drama Island, despite the fact that it was scripted, it actually shows a lot more promise than most reality competition shows. The reason why Total Drama Island was actually even pitched was because there was a lot of research done at the time that was showing that due to the popularity of Survivor and other reality competition shows, that children were watching more and more reality competition shows alongside animated shows.
Right.
So Cartoon Network and Teletoon thought that if they could capitalize on that by making an animated reality competition show that
with Canadian humor.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That it would work out.
Is a strange combination.
Apparently this is one of the top performers. This is true.
Yeah.
Consistently top performing for audiences of age 6 to 11.
Yes,
Wow.
it's true. Total Drama Island was one of my favorite shows growing up. I think that it got a pretty high ranking for me just based on...
Don't tell me it ranked above Survivor.
Yes,
Well,
I did.
everything ranked
Total
above
Drama
Survivor.
Island was ranked number 14, tier 2 for me because it was... But that's the thing is that you fall in love with the characters over time, and it was cool because they actually have an alternate ending for the winners.
I can't fall in love with something I
Total
don't
Drama
watch.
Island actually was a show that... It tanked halfway through, but I still chose to watch it because
Halfway through the first episode.
No, halfway. I think that you guys would agree. It's definitely not a show for adults, but it is definitely a good opening show for kids.
It's not really for kids though either. Like the stuff they're blurring out.
Yeah, Coraline's not for kids either, but I grew up watching that. I don't know about your kids.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
And next is Endurance.
This is Survivor, but for teens.
Survivor for teens. That's exactly
So
what
these
I have
kids
over here.
live in a remote location and participate in various mental and physical challenges. So
they had 6 seasons and almost 100 episodes. And they originally aired from 2002 to 2008, and it was on NBC or Discovery Kids.
Yes.
yeah, kind of cool. So the boys pair with the girls in challenges, and they kind of separate into little mini teams of 2. And they had like the orange team, yellow team. Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to see the orange team lose so bad.
I know you.
I know. Damien and Nicole is the worst.
But this was one where, so the prize on this one is on all expenses paid vacation with their parents to an exotic location.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they don't even get cash. They just get a vacation with their parents.
It's actually because J.D. Roth and Todd A. Nelson, the creators and executive producers of the show, did a series before that called Moolah Beach. And that had 12 teenagers, same GIF, like same thing basically. And that was aired in 2001, I believe. But Moolah Beach, like the winning team got to split $25,000. But I think that the reason they didn't do that was because of the tax.
Probably with the kid.
Probably the tax frame. Like
but this was a funny one to me because I love Survivor, and so I was watching. It was like, oh, it's Survivor for teens. That's kind of cool. And they did this physical challenge where they were doing this endurance challenge where they had to hold up a pole around a metal ring, and if they hit the side, the fire would come out and they'd lose. And like it shows like. In Survivor, they'll be holding a pole like above their head, and it'll be like elapsed time, 2 hours.
2 hours.
Elapsed time, 5 hours. And like they're dying in the heat. This one, it was funny because like 2 minutes in, like 2 seconds in, someone dropped, and I was like, ah ha ha. And then it shows this montage of all the kids sweating and
by the
trying
way,
to change
7
arms.
minutes has gone by as you're watching, and then it says elapsed time.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
And people are dropping out after 15 minutes on this challenge. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is definitely for
like
kids.
they're teenagers. Yeah, exactly.
It is.
And it's like...
But I got pulled into the drama, though. Like, I was really, like, rooting against the
constructed
orange
drama?
team. Yeah, the constructed drama. Like, they were telling the kids what to say. Like, I'd almost hear them off camera being like, hey, be happy that you won this thing. Because the girl's like, I got the thingy.
That's a high... Oh, my goodness.
It's not exactly Survivor because they're not trying to survive. They stay in cabins.
Yeah.
And they hang out and then just basically they put them in a circle and have them trash talk each other the whole time.
It's so much fun.
And I don't know why the one Willa, she was so annoying.
Yeah, she went kind of crazy.
Yeah,
This seems like an intro for kids, but I want to keep the kids away from this kind of reality TV competition.
It's kind of a little more nasty.
Sorry, this one's hard for me to talk about because Endurance is like my show. It is my staple. Like I have,
and yet you hate Survivor?
Yes, I do. I have no memory of not knowing Endurance.
Okay, wow.
Like my earliest memory when I was 4 years old, I was like saying bye to my sister. I love you when she went on the bus, and I ran back inside to go watch Endurance. Like I have no memory of not knowing this show.
Wow.
And so like it's
is
hard.
this number one?
It's like it is not number one. It is tier 1, of course, and that's the thing. I think that for most people watching, it's probably around tier 2. But for me watching it, like it is tier 1 because Endurance has been a staple of my entire life.
Okay.
Like every lesson I
get that.
I give it a tier 2.
And the fact that it was 6 seasons too, that it actually
good
had
for them.
Yeah, so it's tier 2.
I gave it a tier 2. You gave it
tier 2.
All right.
I love Endurance so much. Anyway, shout out to the Pro Boards. Okay.
All right, so tier 2, and tier 1.
It was ranked number 3 for me.
Oh, top 3.
Top 3. All right, this is one that I have seen. It's Big Brother.
This came out in July of 2000, and it's still going to the present. 21 seasons, 740 episodes.
A group of strangers live together in a house for 3 months without privacy and with seclusion from the outside world.
But I want you to just take that for a moment. Survivor, if you remember, has been going on for 38 seasons, has 568 episodes. This has less seasons, but more episodes.
Yep.
Significantly, 200 more episodes.
Because what, they go twice a week, maybe?
They do
3
times a week.
They do it 3 times a week.
Three times a week you're watching this show.
Yuck.
Yeah.
The first time I actually heard
That's
about
too
this.
much. Matt, is that too much?
No, it's not. It's perfect.
I was going to say, you might not feel that way.
The first time I heard about the show was actually when I was in Portugal, and there was they'd come on TV and they'd be like, "Oh, elders, don't watch this. You don't want to watch this." And we're like, "What is it?" They're like, "It's Big Brother." Much more scandalous over there.
Yeah, it's much more scandalous in literally every single country except the U.S.
Yeah.
And like Brazil,
shout out to Jose Maria.
In Brazil, they actually let competitors like get into fights, and they don't come in until blood is drawn.
Wow.
Once blood is drawn, that's when the producers.
The same
step
thing
in.
happened in Australia. I remember I was like, "Oh, Big Brother sounds really fun. I can't wait to get home and watch it." And then I watched a few episodes. I said, "This is so much more boring."
Oh, it's so boring.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one, the prize is $500,000 most of the time. But this series always just felt scummy to me. Like every time I tried to watch
the
it,
actual series or Big Brother After Dark?
Well, the thing is, I think the whole point of this series is to be as salacious and
this is on
mean as
Showtime
possible.
or some other channel I can't get.
Pop TV.
Pop
and
TV, that's it.
This is one where it just like I feel like it's like the scummy cousin of Big Brother, like the sleazy the sleazy cousin of Survivor, that just like hangs.
That you
out.
don't want to come over for Thanksgiving.
That is such
but at the same time,
interesting opinion to have.
At the same time, though, it's a staple. Like people know this show and they know the format, they know the look.
They do, yeah. This is
It always seems like they pick the worst people to be on the show too. Like they pick big personalities to be on the show.
Yeah, they do. They always have.
Of course.
Every single season, they have to have the gay guy, the Texas guy, the like stripper, basically. Can we say that? Stripper?
Paint stripper, sure.
Yeah.
It's a tool.
And then the super fan and like the female super fan and the male super fan, the male nerd. Like it's they really stick to their stereotypes. But because the way that I always see it is that it's actually just this larger commentary on like society that we all have a lot more in common.
Well, here's the other thing too,
and that's what I really take away from Big Brother.
One thing I find interesting is that they purposely take away TV, phones, radio, like not even radio. They can't listen to music because they want these people to interact, and it's also an experiment on society to see if people can still have these social interactions with no distractions, no electronic distractions.
Yeah, the only
even though all they do is gossip about each other from like 10 feet away.
That's all there is to do.
The only book that they're allowed to bring into the house is the Bible.
No,
and so when people are reading, they're always reading the Bible.
But here's a fun fact for you. So the first season, they tried to copy the original Dutch
UK
series
version,
and it was just like mean-spirited people just hanging in a house. And then they realized their ratings were tanking, and so they ended up copying the competition format of Survivor. And
That's
then
true.
putting more competition in the show, and then made it about getting food, getting reward.
We like competition.
Head of house,
right?
all that. And so by the second season, that's when they changed their format, and that's when they began to succeed.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't believe it's still on the air, honestly.
And the thing about the show, like 3 times a week you can watch it.
Yeah.
And then also there's a live feed into the house that you can pull up and watch at any time.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, really?
Not at any time. They do black it out for like competition stuff so you can't see who wins.
No thanks, because it's tier 3.
Tier 3?
Yeah, tier 3.
Tier 3 for Kent.
I
Joel?
gave it.
I don't blame you on that, honestly. Big Brother's kind of it really is a hit or miss. But with most fans, people who are obsessed with Survivor,
this is basically a show.
Survivor don't like Big Brother.
This is a show where people wear robes and pajamas and complain about each other.
People who like more complex strategies,
Baconsale,
are obsessed with Big Brother.
Complex.
It's a much more complex game than Survivor.
So Big Brother was one I actually had a very big perception going in of because I'd seen pieces, but it wasn't until I watched it for this show that I went, that was kind of interesting, so I gave it a tier 2.
Okay, right in the middle.
It is. Yeah, it is also ranked.
It's got legacy points too.
Yeah, it is also ranked tier 2 for me. Number 10 on my overall list.
Next show is called The Glass House.
A short-lived ripoff of the popular reality show Big Brother.
Yes.
14
Yeah,
contestants live in a house made of glass as they compete for $250,000.
So 1 season, 10 episodes. This came out in 2012 on ABC, and the prize was only $250,000.
Was there a season, or was it just a lawsuit?
It was 1 season, but
so
the
here's the
lawsuit
thing.
started after the show aired.
Big Brother wanted to sue them because they're like, you're copying our format because it was a group of people in a house. It just had glass walls.
And 19 former producers from Big Brother.
And it
made
was
the
the
show.
original format of Big Brother as well.
But then Big Brother dropped the lawsuit because they, quote, saw the ratings.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
They said in August 17, 2012, CBS dismissed its lawsuit against ABC, citing the series' poor ratings.
Yeah.
They basically went, you're not worth our time. So it was interesting because the episode you gave us, it didn't seem too different from Big Brother, but there was like a Latter-day Saint mom on the show.
Yes, there was. And I love her.
She was great, but then there's this jerk on the show called Alex.
Like purposeful jerk.
Alex, he was like, I'm going to be the biggest villain of all time. And
but he didn't know how to villain.
Yeah, exactly.
No one watched your show, dude.
So here's the thing: is this guy, and I just want this is in the weeds, but you're never going to hear about this show again. This show, the guy's like just being a jerk to everyone and kind of just a general jerk.
Just cause.
And then he asked the audience if he should be the biggest villain of all time, and they said yes. And then he started being just mean, where he would like make fun of people's weight or their religion or their color of their skin or their.
Exactly.
And it was just like he went way too far because he didn't know how to villain. And
like a schoolyard bully.
Boom, voted off.
Yeah, he was the first one out, and it's like, duh.
I actually had to watch the next episode just so I could watch him go away.
Yeah, exactly. You have to understand that reality competition is all about. People love to say, "Oh, it's just a game. It's just a game," but it's like, no, this is like, come on, it's $250,000 if you win.
Yeah.
Like,
the only difference
life changing
between this
you can't
one.
Attack personal. It's just a thing.
It felt like they just needed to overbrand everything. Like everyone wore shirts and jackets that said the Glass House, just so people would know what show they were watching and not Big Brother.
Little microphones.
Well, because you're also not aware of anything with logos on it, right? And so it's like,
So
like even on Big Brother, sorry.
Well, they pulled out the first competition because I was like, this is a poor, cousin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then they pulled out the first competition. It was this huge, giant puzzle board, and they had all these complicated like ropes and pulleys. And I'm like, what kind of budget are these guys working with?
Right. Was there a budget?
Apparently, because that didn't last very long.
Also, the elevator was cool. I thought it was cool.
Tier 3 was cool.
I'm really easily entertained.
Tier 3.
All right, Tier 3?
This was a miserable watch.
Tier 3?
This was full of just miserable people most of the time, except for the LDS mom. I thought she was good. There's a couple other people that were good, but like overall, I didn't like almost anyone on the show.
Yeah, Tier 3. Although I really
your
did
first
like
Tier
it.
3.
Yeah.
We
agree.
No,
We
but
agree?
Survivor was Tier 3. And then Glass House on my official rank was number 17.
It was above Survivor?
Yeah,
Above
Survivor was
Survivor
18. There are 3 shows below Survivor, and I'll
If
make
you want
sure.
to find me, you can find me at 7Scroll on Twitter.
No, you can't.
I still can't believe you guys were.
What's the next show, Jake?
All right, next show is Home Free, which is not where Joel is.
Couples compete to win a dream home. The couples will break down into 2 teams. At the end of each build, the 2 teams will be judged on Mike's criteria: quality, creativity, and teamwork.
So this was when 2 seasons, 18 episodes, and this was 2015 to 2016 on Fox. And the prize here was a dream home. So they'd get these amateurs to build a house inside and out. One team was inside, one team was outside. Yeah. And then they'd have professionals come in and judge their work. And then one of the teams would be selected as the winner, one would be the loser, and someone off the losing team would be chosen to go home. But, and this was the coolest part, was that they had 8 homes they were remodeling, I think is what they said, or something like that.
Exactly.
And at the end, they vote out a couple, like they didn't vote it out. Mike Holmes, who apparently is the main guy, and they were like, I'm starstruck by this guy. I'm like, I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah. He's really big in Canada, apparently. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that means
so
something.
Then he comes in and says, all right, you're voted out. And it's this big emotional moment where they're like, we didn't win our dream house. Then after all the other contestants go away, he takes the losing team and says, do you want to see the family that you built this house for?
Let's meet the couple that just won this home.
And then he hangs up a picture of them, and they get the house because every single losing, quote unquote, losing couple gets the house that just remodeled.
So my notes say the losing couple just won the house, and now they're bawling, and now I'm bawling.
I said, I'm crying.
Exactly. And what the listener, what I want you to understand is that all 9 of these couples were couples that were in desperate need of a home.
Like they lost their job or
there is actually a Latter-day Saint family on this show too, who it's the husband was working 2-3 full-time jobs just so that his wife could stay at home with their 4 kids. There was another one where there's 2 art grads who both have over $200,000 in student loans.
Right.
And then there was another one with like 2 twin sisters who are competing for their dad with Alzheimer's because he's about to forget.
That's the thing is these are all people in need, and it's such an uplifting, warm reality show. It was such a contrast to all these other ones that I was watching.
Right.
Because this one I got to the end and I was like, at the end of every single one of these, I wrote, would I watch this again? That was one of my main questions. And I said, definitely, because this is not about the competition. It's about seeing the family's reactions at the end. I gave this a tier 1.
Also, behind the scenes, it looks like a 24-hour job they're doing. Like each challenge, they're breaking it down or they're renovating, and it's actually a professional crew working on something for 2 weeks for every day they work on this house. So they don't show a lot. That goes
but at the
same
time, these people have to do jobs they've never done before,
it's true.
like lay stone or knock out walls.
It is true, yeah. Just to say, also, it's tier 1 for me. It's my second favorite reality competition show of all time. If God were to have a game show, it would be Home Free. Like, I'm not kidding. If God were to have a game show, it would be Home Free. Because
it's called Planet Earth.
Exactly. Because it wasn't about being the best. It was just about doing your best. And as long as you did your best, you still got the reward. And that's, anyway, sorry to get religious on Baconsale, but
it's awesome though, because like I love those type of home remodel shows or extreme makeover shows when I just love seeing the reaction of people seeing something they love. And this one is about the competition, and then you get that at the end, and I'm like,
this is the combination of my two least favorite TV genres, which is home improvement shows and reality TV. And it's a tier 1. Somehow it's full on won me over.
All right.
I love Home Free.
Okay. Next show.
You go for it.
All right. Next show is Who Done It.
I love Who Done It.
Done It.
Competitors witness a murder committed
Quote,
secretly by one of their numbers and are instructed to find clues on how the murder was done and the identity of the murderer.
So this had 1 season, 9 episodes, and came out in 2013 on ABC, and the prize was $250,000.
It's hosted by Gildart Jackson, who plays Giles, and he's actually married
Giles
to...
in what?
This seems like a good idea.
Giles the butler?
In
what do you mean?
Oh, I thought you meant into something else, because wasn't he in Charmed or something like that?
But he was married to Jen from The Office, so he's an actor, but he plays Giles the butler.
So this is one where a lot of production value on this one.
Yeah,
because
$750,000 a day. Per murder.
Well, that's the thing. So what they do is they bring the people on the show, and they let one of them know you're going to be the killer, and they let someone else. And then when someone gets voted off, they get killed.
It's like Murder Mafia.
So like at the end of the first episode, okay, so I'm getting way ahead of myself. Near the end of the episode, they have everyone go in a room alone, and they have to talk to the camera and explain who they thought did the murder, and then how they did it. Then it gets to the end, and they're like, who came the closest versus who was the farthest away. The farthest away are up for elimination, and at the end of the show, the two that were the farthest away, they ended up like making you think one of them was going to die, but then the other one comes out like fully on fire, like runs out of the house, full body flame, and jump in a pool, and they're dead.
This show felt like the biggest crock, because someone would die, and they'd show like the murder scene, and you'd have people like, ah, or startled beast. Oh,
yeah. There were some of the competitors.
Like, what are they doing?
They literally have an actress. They literally have an actress flopping on the floor because a fish tank has fallen over on her, and she's covered in glass and blood, and there's an electrical wire that's making her body jolt, and then they all have to act like this is a real thing.
Yes, yes, they do.
Actually, viewers thought they were actually killing people because viewers are just as dumb as the contestants. So I actually have a few tweets from people here, and this is the first one's from Cassidy YDG, and she said in all caps, "Is this person really dead? If not, this is good acting." And then Nate Monster said, "I'm confused. Is Dante really dead, or is this pretend?" And then Sparkle _
Spoiler alert! I mean,
Sparkle _ Pirate says, "Is that even legal?" Yeah. So people are watching.
How many people found that interesting?
But not only that, Jacob.
This is on Twitter.
No, it made headlines. The series made headlines for tricking people into thinking they actually killed people.
Because that's a good idea. The other thing is that once they kill the contestant is made up, and then they have to lay on a slab in a morgue, and then people will come in and examine the body in order to determine how the murder was done.
It's actually interesting. Regarding Dante, his murder was the only one where he didn't actually get to act as himself.
Oh.
They because he was so slim and he wasn't trained in like the fire thing, they actually paid this woman like I want to say over $500,000 to shave her head bald and then
light
do the
herself
scene
on fire.
for her. Yeah, do the
and
scene
jump in
for
a
him.
pool.
But,
so she won more than the contestants.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, and then they had
another
contestant that got killed by a cougar, where they had to have a dummy attack the cougar.
Wait, like a single older woman?
like an animal. Like,
okay,
yeah, like
go on, Ken.
Now,
how did it happen?
Mats, we'll talk later.
But it was just kind of funny because like there's so much suspension of disbelief both on those who are actually playing the game and those watching. But I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed kind of being like, oh, how did this take place? And seeing how it played out.
Exactly.
And I got to like some contestants. I got to hate some other contestants. So I was pulled in. But it is very hokey. It's like an immersive escape room.
So is it amusing? Did you like it? What's the tier?
Tier 2.
It's tier 2.
Tier 2? Matt?
I ranked it as tier 1, number 6. I thought that the format was different. And
lower tier 1,
it was
Joel.
actually, and even though each episode is one day, it actually took them 3 days to film an episode. Mm-hmm. And then
one thing I did like is
a lot of AMAs on
you just
Reddit.
reminded me, they did hire real life investigators in the show. Like one person's an insurance investigator, one person's a former cop.
Cool.
So like these people should be able to do this.
Yeah,
but
and some people wanted to take the show, like the story of the show, more seriously than others, and that's honestly like what caused, according to some AMAs on Reddit, that's what caused some tension. Is because some people were like, "I can't act because I'm not an actor," and other people were like, "Come on, it's just fun." And
they're all actors.
Yeah, it was just interesting. Not all of them.
Actors.
Not all of them.
This one sounds interesting, honestly. Yeah,
it was fun.
It's
a
good
to
show.
watch.
It's a good show.
I didn't mind watching it.
All right, next up, The Biggest Loser.
Overweight people living on a ranch try to lose as much weight as they can, all to win a big grand cash prize of $250,000.
Well, if they gave up the ranch, they probably could lose a little more.
Hey-oh! So this one went from 2004 to 2016 and was then canceled by NBC, but is coming back next year.
It is? Oh, my goodness, yes.
On
I didn't
USA.
know that.
Got the exclusive.
Did we just make your day?
Yes, it did.
2020, there's coming back on the USA
yes,
Network.
I love The Biggest Loser so much. I'm obsessed.
17 episodes.
I'm actually just obsessed with J.D. Roth. I love him.
17 seasons, 247 episodes. And this is one I watched pretty regularly for a while there.
This is the only one I've seen a
writer's
lot
strike.
of, actually.
Yeah.
And my wife and I would actually do like sit-ups and push-ups during commercials while we watch this show.
That's what they tell you to do.
Yeah.
Bob gets on there.
This
and is
show-
like,
Bob. I like Bob.
The whole show seems inspiring, but the way it's cut is so deceptive.
No, the way it's cut is so annoying.
Yeah.
This is one of those shows that I could not handle how it's like, and the wait is beep, beep, beep,
Well,
beep, go to commercial.
They actually
come
have
back,
to-
and the wait is
They have to walk up to the scale 5 times so they can get the right
Well,
camera
those episodes are
Yeah.
like an hour and a half long. Is that
They-
right, Max?
Yeah. They're like
That's because of the writer's strike. Because J.D. Roth did an interview about like
J.D. Roth, the host of Endurance.
Yes, J.D. Roth also, because J.D. Roth and Toddy Nelson
Also
created
Funhouse.
The
You remember
Biggest
that game
Loser.
show, Funhouse?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with J.D. Roth. He's
That was
my
like an
idol.
old kids show back in the 80s.
But actually, sorry, quick interesting fact. Todd A. Nelson for Endurance and The Biggest Loser was actually the first person asked to do production for challenges on Survivor. Turned it down to work with J.D. Roth. And then, but anyway, but with The Biggest Loser, lost my train of thought.
So this show would not pass the Better Business Bureau because everything
No.
about this show is terrible.
They have had so
In
much
fact-
controversy on what they do.
So, for example, the producers don't let the
Who cares?
contestants...
People are losing weight.
Like, you're not supposed to follow the doctor's
Says
orders
the crash
on the show.
dieter.
Like,
Yeah,
for
exactly.
People that were injured or the doctor said, you need to stop working out, they'll be like, I can't work out. And, of course, they'll leave that out of the show, and they'll edit the show to make them look lazy.
Yeah.
There's
So
no
this-
about... Jillian Michaels quit the show
it has
and
been
complained about the
critici-
poor care of contestants.
Yeah, it has been
that's true.
criticized
Oh, yeah.
for the approach of rapid weight loss and malnourishment, dehydration, overexertion, weight loss pills, and people do bad things to lose weight so quickly. And I remember there was one
because
episode.
they want to win money. The
Yeah.
contestants justified it, and then when
That's
bad
what
things
Jacob
happen,
did, and he got
exactly.
deathly ill. When he,
Yeah.
No, I feel
Exactly.
great.
The contestants.
No, when you did the crash dieting, and then for the online thing, and then you got really sick after.
That did happen one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing, like, yes, are all these things awful? Yes, and I'm not denying that. But what I am advocating for on the production side is that the contestants had a choice. Yes, production was probably like
We all had a
incentivizing them to
choice,
do a
Matt.
thing.
Sure.
No, but that's the thing. They didn't have to because
Hold on,
there are some
Matt.
there are some competitors that would fast from water because they didn't want to add the extra water.
You're
weight.
talking about
'Cause they're
purple edits
They are
and
talking
on
about
Survivor.
Yes.
And you're saying they're very selective what they show. Isn't that embarrassing? They literally humiliated people on the
Yes.
show with the editing. Like there's no
Did
saving
they?
that.
Totally
I mean,
did.
come on, going on a show about being overweight is humiliating enough. Like,
Yeah, but it's supposed to be inspiring, and that's the way they spin
I
it.
don't
They
know.
try to do that, but here's
I
the
don't
thing: the contestants of the show lose upwards of 10 pounds per week, sometimes 20 to 30 pounds per week. Whereas the established
The big
medical
ones.
guidelines
Yeah.
for safe weight loss are between 1 to 2 pounds.
So they actually
know how
say
long
it's
the
Stockholm
production
syndrome
was,
on
right?
this show.
I do, but at the same time, I'm saying these are experts saying this is not healthy.
So you know
what they're doing.
that. So you know that there were certain episodes where they would say it's a week, but they actually were working out for 2 to 3 weeks, right?
Still, that's maybe 2 to 3 pounds, and they're doing 20 to 30.
20 to
That's-
30.
I think it's
That's
cool.
also the competitors that have a,
Go
a
crash
larger body
diets.
mass.
This is
It's
what the
cool.
scientists are saying.
One thing I did want to say just on the production side that has nothing to do with like the controversy.
Right.
J.D. Roth, when he first pitched the show, he actually said that we will only film Monday through Friday. And which in Hollywood is like, what? And they're like, why?
Yeah.
What are you going to do on the weekends? He's like, no, I have 2 kids and I have a wife. Like, I need to go home and spend time with my family.
Good for him, and then
I need
make
to
the contestants-
Yeah,
Do you
exactly.
know what they
And
do
then
with
the
contestants?
the one thing though is that contestants did miss out on like big holidays like Christmas or Thanksgiving.
No,
'cause
those
they
are
were on
big
the
deals.
ranch.
Not only that,
Yeah.
so they're given laptops. The phones are taken away. All connection to home is taken away. They give you
This is
laptops
true?
and they monitor through your laptop. And also, you get a 5-minute phone call after 6 weeks that is monitored. A monitored 5-minute phone call.
This is true.
Because
Yeah.
talking
Well,
on the phone
this
makes
is,
you
this
gain
is
weight.
part of the thing, right? Is they want you to totally separate,
It's like-
disconnect from the other world.
I don't know. Part of me is
Also-
part of me just thinks that's awful. The other part of me is like, well, you signed up for that.
So
though.
it's
Like,
true. The original,
Survivor.
You
Increase
signed
the-
up for
increase the
this,
stress.
so it's like you can't complain about signing up for
really
something.
funny. The original pitch for this show was they're meant to put people in these house in the house, and then they were going to make the doors too small for them to get out
Oh.
unless they lost weight.
Oh, no.
That was the original pitch for the show.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
no,
that's
it's
it.
not.
Japanese game show.
No, it's not.
That was the original pitch.
No,
Obviously,
that's
they
not.
didn't make
One
it,
thing
Matt.
That's not the original pitch.
One thing I did
that
enjoy
was a
seeing.
different production company.
One thing I did enjoy seeing, though, is I always
Tell me
loved
the
seeing
production
the
company that produced
transformation.
that one. If it wasn't 3 Ball Entertainment,
Matt's
then I'm
cutting you
not
off.
believing you. Okay.
I do love seeing the transformation as well. Like, that was one of my favorite things, is seeing the before and after. I love before and
isn't
after
that
pictures.
cool? Yeah.
And I really enjoy that.
I like that they get to come back. It's like, what, it's 6 months later?
One of
and
the
then
highest
it's like, how are you
losing
doing?
contestants on this show, I think it was 59% weight loss.
Yeah.
59%. Over half the
Here's the
body
thing that actually interested me, and then we have to move on from Biggest Loser, is that people would kick diabetes, right? They'd be on this show, they lose all that weight, and suddenly they don't have to take insulin
and then
anymore.
they gain an eating disorder.
And then their knees are sandbags and everything's broken.
There's an interview.
people that get healthy.
One of the
from this.
contestants actually talked about how
Their
being
knees
on the
are
show-
sandbags.
Yeah.
that being on the show severely damaged her, and she still has a fear of food to this day. She's messed up because of her time on Biggest Loser.
Sounds right.
Sounds like
2.
she's kind of simple.
Tier 2.
Tier 2.
Nice. Tier 3, number
Whoa,
15.
what? You were just defending it.
Yeah, I know. I love The Biggest Loser. Like I said, this would have been like top tier 2, but like I said, there's only 7 in each one.
It's
so
tier, I
tier
give it
3,
tier 2
number
only
15.
because
All right.
I enjoyed watching it at one time.
We got to keep going. Next show is called Strong.
10 male trainers and 10 female trainees work on improving their physical fitness. And not only through weight, but mind, body, physical, and mental.
That's great tagline. This went 1 season, 10 episodes in 2016 on NBC, and the prize was $500,000.
A lot of money.
This one was interesting because it's all female contestants, all male trainers. They don't know each other until they pair up and start training with each other, and then they have to compete together. It was interesting. That was an interesting twist to me, is that these two people who don't know each other are going to have to be paired together, and they're losing weight and doing
This one's
physical
also on
competitions.
Netflix right now.
Yes,
Very
it is.
successful.
This felt like Biggest Loser meets American Ninja Warrior to me.
Was that Sylvester Stallone narrating at the beginning?
Yes, yes, it was.
He was an executive producer.
Yeah, one of the executive
And in
producers.
fact, Stallone was actually sued for this. NBC and sued
Yes, he was.
for $7 million by a personal trainer who claims that they stole the idea from him.
Yeah,
and
America's
some say
Next Great Trainer.
That's
right?
why people say that's why it shut down after 1 season.
This show was so intense. Like the soundtrack on this one was just whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah, the
This
show
one-
took itself too seriously.
Yeah.
But this one
How's the
also
lightning sound kit?
Yeah, a lot of lightning sounds.
This one also though went from 0 to 60 so fast
Yes.
because everyone's kind of like, "Hey, we're having fun, we're inspiring each other," and the one's like, "I'm going to put you in the competition." He's like, "You're dead to me. You're dead to me."
So
Yeah.
good.
He's like, "Oh, he said I was dead to him," and he
Exactly.
starts crying, and I'm like, "What just?"
The editing is super rushed. Like they just go
yeah.
from point to point to point, and it's like there's no time to like actually enjoy the competitors.
Yes.
there's a lot of purple edits in this one too. I remember one of the competitors. I didn't know a thing about her until the week that she got eliminated.
Okay.
where they introduced who she was.
But
learned
you
her
mentioned
story,
the
and then she
edits.
went home.
It's totally true because they were really dragging on this one scene, and then they get to the big final course
American
they have
Ninja
to run
Warrior,
through.
basically.
And normally it's like, here is the elimination chamber, and they'll show all the different parts of it. Instead, it was like they jump to it. They're like, "Mark, set, go," and I'm like, "What is this thing? Where are
Yeah.
we?" Like the editing was a little off on that, but I liked the concept.
Yeah,
a lot.
me too. I thought
actually.
the concept was really good.
Still makes it a tier 2.
And my wife really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it as well. I'm giving this a tier 1.
Unfortunately, Strong got tier 3, rank 16 for me,
Okay.
which really disappoints me. But
Still better than
because it's a
Survivor,
reality
though.
show. But yeah, exactly. But
No, it's not big until proved it's not.
There were 2 reasons it got ranked this low. Number one, it felt like kind of like what you guys were saying with Supernatural. Yeah, how it's kind of like a monster of the week. The show felt like contestant of the week. You get to know one player a week, and then they added in a really big twist halfway through the season, and doing a big twist in the first season of a TV series is like no bueno.
Trying too hard.
Yeah, because it's like it's basically the producer saying we don't trust our own format, and it's
But strong. The word "strong" is an acronym in the show for "Start to Realize Our Natural Greatness."
Really, I didn't know that. Oh my
what it said.
goodness!
So-
Oh, it's such a good show. I have
According
to
to the Hollywood
rewatch it.
Reporter.
I actually bought the season on iTunes, and now I regret it because now I can't put it on like.
I like seeing the different
It's on
styles
Netflix
of
now, yeah.
training too.
It's
So yeah,
Netflix. It's
I gave
so
tier
good.
1, you gave tier 2, and then you gave tier 3.
Tier 3.
Wow.
Number 16.
All right, next show is American Grit.
Follow 16 of the country's toughest men and women as they are split into 4 teams and face a variety of military-grade and survival-themed challenges set in the wilderness.
And starring
John Cena!
This had 2 seasons and 20 episodes, and this was 2016 and 2017. It was on Fox. And then John Cena, he says, the winner gets up to $1 million. And I was like, did you say
to?
up to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The winner gets
If you earn it, if you're good today.
$250,000, and then they could earn additional stuff. So this is one of those who's the toughest bro competitions. Or broette, I guess. But this was one, and most of them are military heroes or like patriots and things like that. There was no elimination, meaning that you don't vote each other off. it's only over when someone gives up each episode.
Really?
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
they'll do some kind of competition though. It's like who could do this longest, and if you fail, then you have to go up and ring the bell.
I hated
Sounds
most
interesting.
people on this show though, because
I
every
did
time they were in
too.
front of the camera, they would try to sound like they were creating sound bites. For example, they
Yep.
said, "What in the wide world of sports makes her so insecure about me?" I'm like, okay, that was clever. And then they keep saying like, "Put me in, coach."
Oh yeah,
He's like the epitome of what's wrong
Epitome.
with fitness in America.
Yeah, when he said epitome, I was like, oh
Yeah,
my
instead of
goodness.
epitome. Oh, it was killing me.
That's those moments though that just
Wait, Kent, you missed my favorite one
reality
though.
TV gold.
Which was?
He says, because the one guy hated his coach. Because
Yeah.
they get these real military people to help them out. And he hated her. And he's like, I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming myself for listening to you.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
Jeez.
why are you saying that?
So this is a strongman competition, and it's just a lot of trash
They
talking.
literally carry a giant log 3 miles.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a total bro show. I
Yeah.
was not on board with this one. Tier 3.
Okay, I give it tier 2.
Tier 2, number 11.
Okay.
All right, next one. Matt's, why does this have 3 asterisks? Scream Queens.
Naughty.
So, Scream Queens was the first episode of the premiere is naughty. It's a trashy show. That's all you need to know.
So
Chronicles a group of 10 aspiring actresses who are competing for a role in the Saw movie franchise.
That's the prize, Jacob. They could be a walk-on role, a featured
Season
role
1.
on Saw.
Season 1, you
Saw.
can be in Saw 6.
What?
Season 2, Saw 3D.
So
Yeah.
there were 2 seasons, 16 episodes.
That'll be
this
your big
was,
break.
2008 to 2010 on VH1.
Now, this is one of those
I guess that's
with-
cheaper than money.
This one had a host and judges, and one of the judges was James Gunn.
James Gunn
Yep,
from
exactly.
Guardians
Yeah.
of the Galaxy.
One of your favorite people.
Oh, absolutely. And he was great on this show.
Oh my gosh, he was such a creeper. Such a creeper. So
Well, he is.
This is an exploitative show. Like literally, Jacob,
Okay.
I'm
ready.
This may need some shielding from
Give it to
children.
me.
I'm not going to get too explicit.
Lay it on me.
It's
But
gonna be
the first
impossible
challenge,
to.
one of the first challenges they have to do is he says, I want you to eat a piece of fruit seductively. And then he watches them and creeps on them. And at the end, he's like, no, you guys were way too seductive on that. How dare you? And gets all mad at him.
And then they put them in a bathtub.
Then they make him do a bathtub scene where a snake
With the
attacks
fruit?
them. No, this is later. They have
And the
them
snake
strip
attacks
down
them.
and get in a tub, and then they have a snake attack them, and they film it, and then they're like, give them notes, and they have him do it again and again. And there's this one contestant who doesn't want to do a nude scene, and she's like, I don't want to do this, and they try to make her out to be the prude and the villain almost.
Yeah.
And then when she does it, it's this big brave moment where they censor her by putting 2 large targets over her chest.
All they do is objectify these women.
It is
It's true.
horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, that
true.
sounds kind of offensive.
The whole time.
I only put this show on because I thought it would be fun for Joel and Kent to like play director.
When I saw the show, other than the naughty stuff, I was actually really excited because we all
there's a
love
bunch of beautiful
horror
women.
here, and you know it's
Yeah.
kind of like when I think Scream Queens, you think Jamie Lee Curtis or Neff Campbell
Yeah,
in
this was
Scream.
the OG Scream Queens,
But all they
oh.
did here is they kind of got BIMBOs, and was that pretty good?
Yeah, I like it.
BIMBOs.
I like it.
And when they
Say
won,
bimbo. It's a brand of bread.
yeah, there you go. The winner from season 1 was in Saw 6, and so she got her arm cut off. She had to cut off her arm to win this challenge. It's a pound of flesh,
This is
and that
in-
was her scene in the movie.
In the movie.
And then the winner of season 2 didn't even get anything. She got her face smashed by a car tire that just fell on her
Oh, I
face.
didn't know that.
And that was her scene.
And they
she
had
was
to
probably
go-
in it
they had to jump-
17 seconds.
They had to jump through all these hoops to do it. Like this, and okay, so this is an acting challenge. Like everything is like, okay, we want you to act.
It's
and then
actually
they judge them
honest
on their
about these
acting.
people being actors, though.
But the problem is they're all so cringy. Like when they're having to act like they're scared,
terrible.
you don't buy most of the ones they're doing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know.
They were
I'm
not
so
that
bugged by
good.
so many things that happen in this show. They said things to them too that would never fly today.
No.
When it's like, look, this is a quote: "You are not the hottest lady here in the house." And I'm like, why would you say that to them? Like that's
This would never fly now.
they're like,
Yeah.
you're not the hottest,
Yeah.
but you kind of
That's
got
why
some
Kent
talent.
can't say that to us
And
anymore.
he's like, you're hot, but you don't got the talent.
Yeah.
I wish I could meld the two of you together so I get the hotness and the talent together. And I'm like,
Based on concept and the challenges, like other than the fruit stuff, because later
Saturday Night Live would
episodes,
fire those guys, huh?
later
Yeah.
episodes they get into like it's like horror themes and it's
Yeah.
pretty fun. But concept is tier 1, but execution tier 3.
and
Yeah,
this also just as another quote.
Does that make it tier 2?
James Gunn literally
No.
said, "You are unbelievably freaking hot" to one of the contestants, like creeping on her. And I'm like, back off, dude. It was so cringy.
Uh-huh.
And yet, Matt, I ended up watching part of season 2.
Why?
Go
I
on.
didn't even watch
Go
part
on.
of season 2
Because I found out that Rosanna Pansino, one of my favorite YouTube personalities from Nerdy Nummies, was a contestant on the show in season 2. So I had to jump to season 2 just so I could see. She got eliminated in the second episode. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
I didn't even watch the whole thing. I was just skimming through to kind of see her parts. And it was sad. The whole time I'm like, you are better than this. And then I realized to all the actresses on the show, I'm like, You don't have to do this to get a part, a bit part. You are humiliating yourselves. This is a tier 3 show.
Yeah, tier 3, 21, one of the worst shows I've ever watched. But yeah, like Kent said, the idea and like the concept is amazing.
Yeah.
Execution was awful.
Because they're just creeping on them the whole time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it drove me nuts.
Okay, moving on.
All right, next show is twinning.
Sets of identical twins compete to find out who has the greatest twin tuition, with the winners splitting a grand prize of $222,222.22.
This one episode, or excuse me, one season, 11 episodes. This was in 2015 on
Should have been
VH1.
one episode.
I probably shouldn't have watched this one in the same room as my kids. There was a lot of language in this one, like TV, VH1
Scream
language.
Queens, that was fine, but twinning,
I
not so much.
definitely didn't watch that when they were around. But this is just one where I feel like everyone on the show was a jerk. Everyone.
Yeah.
I did
Even
not.
the Boy Scouts?
No, okay, so those guys were picked
Just say
on.
Boy Scouts are jerks, Joel, okay?
No, that's
just say it.
those two brothers, blue shirt guys, they were picked on the entire time.
Yes, they were.
And
Because
like
people thought they
mocked.
were weak, and it was, awful.
But I was so. That's the thing is, I was so bugged at what was happening to them that I didn't like anyone. And then they were also kind of weird.
Kind
They
of.
were.
Like they always dress alike. Like these two twins. The whole show is about.
They were the type
twins.
that would bury their mom in the freezer.
Oh, no.
somewhere.
What?
No, they wouldn't.
It's true.
Oh, maybe
They're creepy.
But then
Well,
they
maybe.
also were the ones who never
They got bullied.
They
They're
had Jacob.
creepy.
They dress alike every day, and they
Okay.
never had been apart for more than 12 hours.
So it's you and Kent.
So the
basically.
the concept of this show is they, much like any other reality show, they live in a home together, but this time they split the twins into two different homes.
which was interesting.
It was.
It was interesting because you have,
And then
you
they
have
play
two
mat-
look-alike groups in two different houses.
And then the
Okay.
losing contestants have to play a match
Do they
game,
wear like
basically, to
different
beat
colored
the other
shirts
team.
or something?
They should have. That was my issue with the
then-
show. It was hard to tell who was who.
Yeah.
Because they should have put one twins in green and one twins in blue because they just had the houses green and blue. But then the twins were wearing similar colors. And I'm like, I don't know which one I'm even caring about right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I stopped caring.
Interesting. All right,
Good
what's our
choice.
tiers?
Tier 3.
Matt, do you have anything to add about this show?
Yeah, it's tier 3. It's just a trashy show. It was partially justified because, I mean, a lot of the arguments later in the series were between siblings, so like fights broke out, like it was bad.
Yeah.
But like, so that's partially justified because like it's siblings, but no, it was just a trashy
the
show.
puns are
trashy
fun.
casting, but yeah, the puns are a lot of
I
fun.
liked the challenges. Like I liked when they had to try to match each other just without even seeing each other, trying to match each other's answers. And the trivia was fun. I'd like to, thinking if my brothers even could answer that.
Yeah.
But tier 3.
Yeah, tier 3, rank 19.
All right, so are you guys ready? This is not exactly a reality TV show style competition. It's more like a game show because it's just not a quiz, but a game. We'll say that.
You should be the host, Jacob.
No, I should not. And here's how it goes, right? I'm going to read to you and Matt's is going to help me out here, the name of a show and a brief synopsis. Sometimes we might hurry through the synopsis because this is a very long show, it turns out. And you guys are going to each vote on whether it is real or fake.
Okay.
Is this thing really happening or not? Okay. Are you ready?
10 survivalists are sent into the wilderness to survive alone for up to a year. Competitors are required to film their entire experience as there will be no crew with them at any point. Last person to drop out wins $500,000. I give you alone.
Fake.
Real. And I remember this show.
It
Yeah.
is real.
You saw this one?
I did. I remember hearing about it because it got news because the crew basically left them high and dry, and they ended up like just kind of the show fizzled out, and they were left there alone.
What?
It's still airing, actually.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's on the History Channel. Season 6 just finished premiering. I love it though. It's a fun show. It was almost on this rank down, but it just didn't hit my top 21, sadly.
Point for Joel.
Point for Joel. All right,
Are you
next
giving
one.
points?
Are you keeping track of the
Oh
points?
yeah, I'm keeping track of points. The winner is going to receive a fabulous prize.
I'm sure it'll be fabulous.
It will be
Is it
fabulous.
$250,000?
Up to. You'll see. Depends how well you do. All right, next one is bridalplasty. 10 women compete for the plastic surgery of their dreams. The last one standing will have her new face revealed to her fiancé at the altar.
Real.
It's a spinoff of The Swan in Extreme Makeover. I'm going to say real.
Matt's?
Yeah, it's real. I
Yeah.
loved it so much. I watched an episode. I was
come on,
like,
man.
no, it was this amazing commentary on like plastic surgery and like
Commentary?
it's okay. It was so good. Anyways,
We got
sorry.
to talk about the definition of commentary
Yeah,
later.
I know, but it was a good show. Trashy, but good show. I loved it. It was good. I give you The Tube. Overweight people compete to lose weight. Each week, a tube is lowered around them, slowly getting thinner. At the end of the tube is a check for $1 million. The first person to become thin enough to reach the check wins.
Fake.
Real.
Okay, it's fake. But JD Roth, Biggest Loser creator, did have some guy pitch the show to him.
Fake.
So
I really thought this was a Japanese game show. I honestly could see it on most of my mind.
It sounds horrific.
It sounds real.
It is so horrific.
But the commentary.
It is so horrific.
The commentary.
For love or money, 16 bachelorettes compete for one man's hand. Unbeknownst to him, the 16 women have all been told that whichever girl he chooses will also win $1 million. However, unbeknownst to all competitors, at the finale, the chosen girl has to choose between the bachelor or the money. Real or fake?
What do you think, Joel?
If this isn't a show, it should be. I would watch it. It is real.
I've seen this show. It's real.
Yeah.
It is real.
Yeah, it's real. 4 seasons on ABC.
4 seasons?
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It really is.
originally-
I love that description.
Yeah, it was originally pitched as Around the World in 80 Dates, but then 9/11 happened, and so they were like, no, we're not sending Americans on around the world. So then
okay.
JD Roth actually created the show, and he changed the format over the weekend and pitched the new show idea.
I like how he's like the Steven Spielberg of reality competition.
I think
He is.
the episode image needs to be JD Roth with his arm around
I'm obsessed
Matt's.
with JD Roth. I love him. But yeah, he is like the king of reality competition. So I give you unanimous. 9 players are sequestered from the outside world and aren't allowed to leave until they all unanimously vote for the same person to win $1 million. But with money being lost every second, will there even be a prize left for someone to win?
I'm going to say fake.
I'm going to say fake as well.
This was a real show.
Oh my gosh,
Hosted
really?
by JD Roth.
How does that last? Like I can't.
Is it really?
I can't see that show going very long at all.
Yeah, it only lasted 1 season, and it wasn't very
3
good.
episodes?
No, it was about 8 episodes. The winner ended up only winning about I want to say around $50,000 to $75,000 because that's how fast the money was losing every single second.
Wow.
They were only in there for 11 days, but it was a fun competition.
Only.
All right, for our next show, this is called Big Brother Homeless Edition. This version of Big Brother features 16 homeless people from all across America, and they are fighting it out for their dream home as the grand prize.
Fake.
This is too weird to be fake and for you guys to come up with. Like, it seems like it'd almost be insensitive if you just came up with it yourselves. So I'm going to say real.
Oh no, we're that insensitive.
This has been. I've been saying.
You got a point there. Yeah, okay.
I've been saying Big Brother needs to do this since day one, but
No,
I
Big
would
Brother
watch that.
has stretched out done some interesting things.
Yeah. So this one is Big Brother Haunted Edition. This version of Big Brother features all the tense drama you've come to expect with the series, but placed in locations that are famously haunted. Except everyone knows the location is haunted, but the contestants watch out for secret passages.
You guys just did a fake one about homeless people. I wouldn't think that you would repeat another fake Big Brother one.
I wouldn't think they would be insensitive, but yet they were.
Yeah. Joel, what do you say?
I'm going to go with fake on this one.
I'm going to go fake as well.
Yeah, you're right. They're both
Okay.
fake.
It is
Yeah.
fake. I thought I might trick you by doing them one after another.
Yeah, that's what it,
So yeah, you were right on there. Celebrity expunged. Celebrities with multiple offenses attempt to learn life lessons while competing in service projects for others, but against each other. America votes on who has changed and deserves to have one offense expunged from their record.
What? You can't expunge something on
That's so weird. I know some celebrities that could use it, though.
Yeah, there's some usefulness there, isn't there?
I don't think anyone could ever put the title expunged in a TV show. I'm going to say fake.
Yeah, I got to say fake on this one. I don't think the legal process would allow for this.
It is fake.
Okay.
However, it was based off some real pitches that came, and I kind of rewrote it into my own idea there.
Watch that.
Yeah.
What wouldn't you watch, Mats?
WCG Ultimate Gamer. 12 everyday gamers compete for a spot on the WCG national team.
It's real.
I'm going to say real.
Yeah, it's real. Famous YouTuber animator Swoozy actually competed on season 1.
This show explores romance, sans preconceptions, stereotypes, and clothes. In each episode, 2 men and women strip down for a shot at the primary daters. Then each dater picks who they connected with the best, and that will be their keeper. I give you Dating Naked.
I believe there's a show called Naked and Afraid that I know about, and so I'm going to say that this one is probably real because it was one of those scandalous ones they played up and then didn't pan out. So real.
Real? Kent?
It's definitely real.
It is real.
I may have seen an episode.
So did I. Yeah.
I watched the trailer. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it looks so bad.
Don't they like lift the door up and you see their ankles?
Yeah.
You know, like, isn't that a challenge? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ankles are hot.
It's a really interesting.
Ankles are hot.
You're one that.
I got you both saying it.
naked ankles are tight.
Just have me with the question mark afterwards.
That wasn't a question. That was an exclamation
It
point.
was true. It's true. All right, next one. Welcome to the Neighborhood. This centered on 7 families competing for a 3,300 square foot, 4-bedroom dream house in Austin, Texas. So, by battling to be the last family booted from consideration by 3 white, well-to-do families who already live in the neighborhood. Now, the prospective families moving in include a Korean family, a gay couple, a white couple with an adopted black son, and a, quote, white trash family with a mother who works as a stripper. Real or fake?
I feel like you guys shouldn't have written that.
Yeah, I think that would be, once again, although they were insensitive before, they might be insensitive again. I'm going to say real.
Kent?
I'm going to say, I'm winning by 1 right now. I'm going to say fake.
You're going to say fake?
Yeah.
This is a real show.
Wow.
Mats, give us some information.
Yeah. So I believe the original broadcast was supposed to be around 2002, 2003.
Supposed to be?
Yeah. And then the show actually got completely recorded and they finished filming and they even announced who the cast were, but then they canceled the show before airing because
just
I-
a little
yeah.
too
Wow.
For
controversial.
obvious
yeah.
reasons.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
My gosh.
This show is about an adult who was adopted, was placed in a room with 25 men, one of whom is their biological father. If the contestant can correctly identify their father, they could win $100,000. However, an incorrect guess will give the prize money to the person who tricked the contestant. I give you, who's your daddy?
I'm going to say fake.
Real.
Yeah, it's real.
Dang it!
They aired 1 episode and then there was huge backlash, and so they pulled the rest of the series.
The thing is, like, it was when you
So
said a
tacky.
bunch of people in a room. I'm like, that's a one show thing.
Right,
It was like
right.
a house, but yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't follow my definition of reality competition, but I'm adopted and I had to put that in there. I would do anything for money, honestly. It's a problem.
That's a soundbite.
Oh, that's awesome.
Not denying it. Anyway,
The show is called Eye of the Beholder. In Eye of the Beholder, there's a dark twist, as in, you can only date in the dark. No touching, though. After you have conversations with numerous possible companions, you have to choose whom you will marry.
I'm pretty sure I remember this one.
The concept sounds real, but it was, I think it had a different
Or maybe
name.
I'm thinking of the restaurant. No, I'm thinking of the restaurant. Where it's like there's restaurants where you eat in complete
Are you talking about
darkness.
just like the concept?
Yeah, well, it was just like you go to, it was a restaurant, I think, where you just go there and you eat in dark.
I think the idea is real, but I think you guys
heard of
made
that.
up the title.
I think it's a real.
Joel says real.
I think it's dating in the dark, and I think it's fake.
It is fake.
Dang it.
contestants travel to the Amazon where many of the world's rarest bird species abound. These feathered beauties are ranked according to their rarity. The bird watchers compete to capture the best photographs of the rarest birds of the Amazon. The best picture wins the grand prize of $100,000. I give you bird watchers.
This would totally air on one of those random cable networks that needed some sort of reality show to compete with all the others.
Fake.
Real.
You're not very good at this, Joel.
Oh,
It's okay.
You're not good at Baconsale.
Jake came up with that
Joel,
one.
we'll
and
do
he
a
tricked
confessional
me.
after. You can
Yeah,
tell us.
So
how
no, I
you feel about
included
Jake.
that one just because it was like, what's a really boring one I can
Yeah.
put in here it's just going to be bait because it sounds real.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And that was the whole trick.
It's
Yeah.
so specialized.
Yeah.
Yep.
It sounded a lot like Great British Bake Off.
Wait, do they cook the birds?
I wish. No, I'm kidding. I'm
Obviously.
kidding.
Experienced adventuring pairs apply for a spot to participate in the world's most extreme treasure hunt. Contestants are deposited in Mammoth Cave National Park armed with their gear and a book of riddles to serve as the treasure map. $1 million is up for grabs if it can be found. I give you extreme spelunking.
Fake.
Real or fake?
Extreme Spelunking is something a company names itself, not a TV show.
I only say it's fake because there's no way a competition's doing $1 million unless they're Survivor.
Well, that's a good reason to know
So
it's fake.
it's fake.
It is fake. It is fake. Good call.
It gives you all the compliments and tells me I'm not good at stuff. Good reasoning on that.
You're
kids.
the worst, Joel.
You'll get better, Joel.
6 kids run around the country to gain points by accomplishing tasks given to them by a dog.
What?
You're not going to give us the title?
I mean, I can. Do you want the title?
Yes,
please.
that apparently is how we're able to determine these things.
Fetch with Ruff Ruffman.
Oh.
Ruffman? Did you throw that in, or is that actually part of the
No,
title?
that's the title. Fetch with Ruff Ruffman.
Joel, what do you think?
I'm going to say real.
We've had it recorded.
It's on
like
PBS
Carmen
Kids.
San Diego.
Yeah, it is on PBS Kids. I'm obsessed with Fetch. I love Jim Conroy.
Did you guys both say real?
Yeah.
Saddest day of my life is realizing that Ruff wasn't real. Oh,
It's an animated dog, Matt.
I know, as a little kid. But no, like, they animate him putting, like, a letter in the mailbox, and then they open the mailbox in real life, and then the letter's there. And I was like, as a little kid, I was like, oh, he's real.
You're the
He's
best.
actually real. And then my mom told me that he was animated and didn't exist, and I cried for a straight week. I was so sad. Second most depressing day of my entire life. Oh,
Don't want to ask what the first is.
I know. Oh, man. It was so sad.
The first
I
day
was
you
like-
watched Survivor.
Yeah, I was like 5, but I still remember how sad it was. Oh.
Dating not going so well with your kids? In this episode,
What?
in
Why
this
are we
show,
Dating your kids?
is dating not going so well? Not,
For your kids.
Yeah, for, okay? Look, prepositions, all right? Joel, I think this might be a projecting problem. This is
No,
not
I thought
a
it
reading
too.
Don't
problem.
try to put it on me, Jacob. It
Yeah.
was both of us.
We got this.
Maybe you both have a problem. All right, so
Commas, please.
parents,
Hyphens, dashes,
in,
whatever.
In this show, parents pick dates for their son or daughter to try and replace the current boy or girlfriend. Parental control.
Now, the concept sounds familiar, but the title does not. In fact, I think it's fake because of the title. But I'm gonna say real.
You just said I'm going to say fake. And then
But
you
the
said it's real.
concept is really familiar though, because I have no idea what it's called though.
How many more do we have?
1.
Well, then I got to go the opposite of you. So you
Yeah.
said real?
Yeah.
I said fake.
It is real.
Yeah. This is one of my childhood shows.
at this, am I?
Parental Control is MTV, so it's a trashy show. And I loved this show growing up. One of my favorites. This one is called Date My Ex. Hopeful singles participate in a matchmaking activity and find the partner that they've been waiting for. But after 3 months of dating bliss, partners are subjected to a searing review of their matches from their exes. Some of the information they are told are lies, but which ones? Will the couple survive after the well of love is poisoned?
Can you want to make this worth 5 points to make it interesting?
No.
Then what's the point of me answering? There's
I'm in.
no drama here.
5 points it is.
Real.
Fake.
It's fake. Joel, you turns out you're good at this.
I'm so good at this game.
Hey, Joel.
You're just so mad.
Joel, I was actually up by 5, so we're actually tied.
Was he up by 5?
Just by 4.
Scorekeeper.
I could be wrong, honestly. But I've got
Jacob's
you up.
right.
I was
win.
counting.
14-10 is what I got.
I like how I didn't agree, and then it became worth 5 points.
You agreed at the end.
I did not.
Joel, you're going to love this fabulous prize.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was a good game, is what I was going to give Kent. So, okay, so that concludes. Joel, you are our fabulous prize winner.
Yay! Somehow.
Somehow, by magic last minute win. And
If you know anything about reality competition shows, you know you have to do that twist at the end to make it interesting.
that's so
Otherwise,
true.
viewers will tune out.
That's true. That's true. All right, let's get through the last few of these. We've got Beauty and the Geek is our next show.
A group of beauties and a group of geeks, and you can just assume what those are based on those stereotypes, are paired up to compete as couples for a shared $250,000 and other prizes.
This went for 5 seasons, 48 episodes. It aired 2005 to 2008. It was on the WB/CW.
So is it real or fake?
So this is funny because it's not exactly a dating show. It's like a social experiment. Like they're not trying to pair them up. They're trying to teach the geeks to be more social and the beauties to be more brainy.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they're trying to lift up
interesting.
each other.
So, for example, like teaching the geeks how to dance and trivia nights for the girls.
Yeah. The one poor guy kept getting bloody noses every time he got nervous.
So good.
Yeah.
I'm like, they can't plan this kind of stuff. This is
awesome.
hilarious. But there was one character, Richard, on the
Yeah.
show.
Richard.
And my wife went, is Richard real? Like, is he a real guy or is he hamming up? Because he was so awkward the whole time. Like, picture
Hello,
in your brain.
ladies.
Like Saved by the Bell nerds. That's
Truth
what
be
this was.
told, the geeks were not as socially awkward. They all played it up, and the beauties weren't as dumb as they seemed either.
Probably not.
Everyone played a part.
That's every season except season 1.
I recognize. By the way, I totally recognize the dude from the show from YouTube.
Yeah,
He's in Eat Randy, Julian Smith's video. The character Joe. But so this one was one where I got into it. I really did.
Did you never watch this show when it was on?
I think I did.
'Cause I
not
did.
this season though.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing it, and I really enjoyed it, and I would watch it again and again. This is a tier 1 for me.
Yeah.
This is how dated this show is, though, because the host says to the geeks, none of you have been told that your body is a wonderland. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
It's
You
actually
just
like,
dated yourself.
I said this when they said that. I'm like, I know when this was made.
Yeah. This was a great show. I really enjoyed this. I think I watched the whole season. So, yeah, it's a tier 1.
Yeah,
Wow.
It is a tier 1. It's my number 5. And also, guess who created the show? JD Raw.
Next show is Love in the Wild.
Prospective couples are placed in exotic locations and are put to the test with multiple challenges in order to see if a romance can blossom.
So this is like The Bachelor meets Survivor.
And The Amazing Race.
2 seasons, 16 episodes. This was 2011, 2012 on NBC. And the prize was a romantic trip around the world for the winning couple.
Yeah.
So
I actually kind of like the challenge here because in the first episode they have to build a raft out of logs and and twine and whatnot and manage to float it down a river and then do a whole chase together and they have to do a kiss and show it on camera and it's just kind of a different kind of a spin.
Is it kind of romantic? Is that what you're saying?
No, there are some people that definitely had sparks,
Yes.
but there are some people that hated each other by
was
the end of
funny.
that.
Yeah.
So it's all about dealing in stressful situations.
Those are ants.
the dude was his number one fear was ants.
Yeah.
And they put him in the jungle. He was like, "Oh, those ants? Oh, are those ants?" And he was a big dude. It was kind of weird to watch.
It was fun.
Season 2 was actually hosted by Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
So the camera here kind of bothered me, I have to admit, because the camera was watching him get ready and creeping on him, and I'm like, how much are they filming versus how much are they showing here?
I know, yeah.
But I found myself getting caught up in the relationships and rooting for couples and then laughing at other
and also
couples.
the twist by the elimination, you could choose to stay with the one you traveled with all day or try to choose a new partner to see if you could click.
Yes.
And some people stayed because they're like, no, we have a good connection.
But if you didn't switch correctly,
Was
that this one?
Yeah, you could be
Where
cut
if you-
out.
yeah,
entirely.
If you
What do you
try
mean
to switch,
correctly?
if you try to switch, then the person
they
you
turn you
ask could
down?
deny you, and if you're denied, you have to go into the
Basically the singles
to the
area.
side. Yeah.
And if you're left alone in the
Ooh.
singles area, you're off
Yeah,
the show.
and the last guy and girl to be paired are eliminated each week. And the format, a lot of people may criticize this show because it was it's supposed to be about love, but they're all getting sweaty and gross.
Yeah.
But
Right.
the format actually worked. The final 3 couples from both seasons got engaged and married after the show ended.
Really?
And 2 couples from season 1 are still married to this day. One of the winning couple from season 1 actually has kids, and I was going on their Instagram account and they're like, yep, we met. This is our wedding anniversary. It's just literally just pictures of them on the show. And then season 2, one couple got divorced after getting married, but the other 2 couples are still together.
Wow.
So the format actually worked, and that's why I love Love in the Wild, because it was a format about love that actually worked. And to me it's kind of endurance, because the whole point of the show was about learning how to communicate and work together with people,
Right.
rather than Bachelor, which is just hope you make a connection and just go on a bunch of dates. But going on dates only goes so far. It's really about knowing someone, how they act when they are really happy, how they act when they're really mad, and
How they
angry.
act when they see
exactly.
ants.
So exactly. So when I saw this show, it taught me about love, and I was only 11 or 12 when I saw it, but it made me realize, okay, so it's more.
Jenny
So this was
McCarthy-
pretty
it's more
late for you.
important- yeah,
Jenny
for
McCarthy
me,
taught you about love?
pretty much. Yeah.
Me too, on Singled Out, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, it's it taught me at a young age that it's more important that the person I marry and I are a good team, rather than.
So
being
would you
super in love
do
with them.
a challenge? Would you do a mega hike if you found someone you were going to marry? Would you do a really stressful activity like they're doing in order to test the relationship?
I would go on the Amazing Race with them.
Okay.
Speaking of
that,
which-
fast forwards.
Tier
a
1
lot.
for me. Love in the Wild, tier 1.
Tier 1?
Tier 1?
Tier 1, ranked
I gave
number
it
4.
a tier 2.
It's okay.
It barely. It was one that I felt bad knocking it down to tier 2 because I was like, I did enjoy it, but it seemed interesting. But yeah, I couldn't justify
Yeah.
being in tier 1 with the other ones in there.
I totally get it.
All right, next show is, as you said, The Amazing Race.
Teams of 2 people who have some form of pre-existing personal relationship race around the world in competition with other teams.
Literally around the world. These people,
Yeah.
they go everywhere. It's 31 seasons, 361 episodes.
Ooh, that's a
It's
lot.
been going since 2001 till now. It's still going. On CBS, and the prize is $1 million.
So they take airplanes, hot air balloons, helicopters, trucks, bicycles,
fun.
taxi cabs,
It's a fun
cars,
show.
you name it.
How
Pipefoot.
come $1 million isn't too much here for you?
This show's been going forever.
This is the same network and the same basically boat as Survivor.
Yeah, CBS is known as like the trifecta of reality competition for Survivor, Big Brother, and The Amazing Race. My dream is to win all three because I could, but it's fine. It'll never happen. I know it'll never happen.
And this one
but
is
can I
unique
dream?
because The Amazing Race is American born. This was created here. This wasn't This wasn't a
That is
take from
true.
another show. This is here.
So, fun fact, nearly 100 crew members follow each team.
Yeah.
So they act
Yeah.
like there's just a camera in there.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's
There's
crazy.
Team members must. There's some of the rules. Team members must stay
100?
within.
Yes.
Team members must stay within 20 feet of each other, and then stay assigned to the camera and crew as they do this.
Yeah.
They're expected to keep the fanny pack containing their cash, passports, and clues on them at all times.
That would be like a whole. I mean, that's like a horde, like a small town,
Yeah.
a small
Yeah.
village is
Right.
going everywhere, running around.
Yeah.
Like that's.
They have like team. Well, they have like a 2-person team that specifically goes with them. But
Yeah.
then when they're at places, they bring the whole crew.
Yeah,
in.
and the 2-person
Okay.
team that goes with them is a cameraman and then a boom mic guy.
Yeah, that's
and
basically
that's the thing. When they buy tickets, they are only filmed asking for 2 tickets, but sometimes
already
they'll
got the
they
4
have to
from
buy,
them.
they have to book 4 tickets everywhere they go. And then production makes sure that anytime that the whole team the whole cast meets up, that the production crew switches teams so that way there isn't any bias
Yeah.
in who they're rooting for.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty cool.
This is one. Every time I watch it, I enjoy it, but I don't seek it out.
Agreed.
Like this is one that I'm not the one that's like actively watching Amazing Race, but like when I've been pulled into a season, I'm like, oh, okay, I hate the twins, but I like everyone else. Yeah. Twinning.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the whole episode.
But the challenges are real challenges, and they're like death-defying, and they're risky. And so for me, this is a tier 1.
Yeah. What makes the show great is that it's one of the only reality competition shows, just in general, that's based entirely on skill, both having a balance of like social skills, strength, and then also like mental knowledge. Like you need all 3, whereas a lot of the other shows like depend on one of those 3 factors a lot more than this one. And so tier 1, number 7.
I'll agree with the tier 1. This is a tier 1 show.
Nice.
All right, next up is Relative Race.
With their very own DNA as a roadmap, along with a $50,000 cash prize on the line, 4 couples race across country and discover a different relative every day.
You say 50,000. I also read 25,000. So I heard 25,000.
$25,000 was the first season, and I was like, that's dumb. And then they bumped it up to 50. I was like, okay.
They got their budget.
A little bit better.
So this 6 seasons, 60 episodes, 2016 to present. This is actually on BYU TV. This show made me cry so much. And I got caught completely off guard right at the beginning, and then I was emotionally unstable for the rest of the show.
That was the only reason I put that episode specifically, because it's the only...
Well, it was only the beginning of the episode that was cry-worthy, though, because someone meets their dad, and you're like, what a shock.
Well,
and then
not
they're
just
like,
that.
here's your second cousin. You're like, okay.
No, they bring.
I guess that's
like,
kind of
they
cool.
bring these 2 guys in there, and they can't drive. And like, we're going to bring in a driver. And this is like as the game is about to begin. They're about to get in their cars and start the race. And they're like, hey, here's your driver. Here's the rules. And they said, oh, by the way, this is your dad. And the one guy had never met his dad before, and they just started embracing. No, that's it. They're going to meet their relatives, and so then he meets his dad, and it's this big emotional moment. They're hugging, and I'm just like, dang it, here we go. And then later down the road, there was another part. I can't remember exactly what it was. Oh yeah, when the one finds out that she has 10 brothers and sisters that she's never met before.
Yeah.
10 that she's never met before.
Way to go, Dad.
So this show is a ripoff of
Trying to be
Amazing
uplifting
Race.
here.
Yeah, it is.
But it's the heartwarming aspect that brings it above just a basic ripoff.
That's the thing. It's not about winning the money. It's about the family that you meet and like the relationships that you have.
Yeah.
Like these people, I kept saying, I cannot imagine what that would be like to be like, this is my dad I've never met before, and we're going to spend like hours in the car talking, or these are my cousins. I was alone in the world. Now all of a sudden I have cousins, or I have brothers
Exactly.
and sisters. Like it's amazing.
Now, I was so sad because it is tier 2 and it's ranked number 8 on
So
my
high
overall
tier
list.
2.
But you have to understand too, like I am adopted, and so when the show first started airing, I was like, wait, what? Like a show for adopted people? Like,
Yeah.
this is cool. And so I like got emotionally involved, and I still remember the first time my mom watched it with me was about this girl, season 3, Team Black, who met her half sister that she hadn't seen since she was literally like 4, and my mom just looked at me like teary eyes and was like, how did she not know that she had a half sister? And I was just like, this is what the show is about. It's just anyway, it's just amazing, and I love Relative Race, but It's really basic. They are still like they're for their production value. They're still super amateur, but that's honestly what makes it more heartwarming because you can tell that they don't care about the big flashy things. They just want people to meet.
Well, they
family.
also don't seem to focus on the drama as much. They're not trying to cause the drama. They're actually trying to make people happy.
A good show will let drama happen, not cause it. And that's why Survivor and Big Brother work so well.
And there's definitely some filler on the show. Like there's parts that I'm like, okay, let's just move it along here.
Yeah,
It's high tier 2 for me.
I gave it a tier 1.
Okay.
This one got me.
It's a good show.
All right, next show is Capture.
Brings 12 teams of 2 to a 4,000-acre wilderness called the Arena, competing for $250,000. It's essentially a glorified game of hide and seek in the woods.
Or tag.
Yes.
But
This
it's
is
so much fun.
one season, 10 episodes. This was 2013 on the CW. And my notes say something like, wait, it's like paintball without the paintball? And then I was like, wait, this is like Hunger Games. Wait, this is tag.
So here's the
this
concept.
Is hide and seek.
They choose a team randomly and they say, you guys wait. Everyone else gets a head start. And they run. Honestly, it seems like the Arena and Hunger Games.
It's 4,000 acres.
Yeah, they run and they get...
Wilderness.
They have what? Is it 2 days to find someone or is it just the one day?
They have 2 days to find... They have to find someone each day. Or
And
find
then-
2 in the 2 days.
So when, let's say, a half hour passes, the other team that has to seek only has to tag one other team. And so they can rely on people that can't run very fast or just like
Get the
catching
weaker
someone by
gazelle.
surprise.
But also they have trackers on them, and if the competitors if the competitors stay still for 5 minutes, then
3 minutes.
3 minutes, then the hunting team will get a GPS location of where that team is.
So
this
they
is-
can't hide.
They can't hide. They have to keep moving the
This
whole
is
time.
constant hiking. This entire show like made me feel tired. They puke on this show.
They do.
because they're hiking so
But
much.
here's the thing.
Jeez.
Well, they have these high-tech like metal... what do they call them? Talons.
Yes.
Yeah.
That it's like they wear vests that have magnets on them, and so then when they tag them with this thing, it makes their whole vest light up.
So here's the problem. So they catch people, but then they have to do a reenactment like it's real to make sure the camera crew
So
caught
they,
up.
They all
That's
have
true.
they all have body cams they use, and they use some of that footage, but the majority of the footage is reenacted of what
Like,
happened.
they're
Show
here.
us again.
Run.
Yeah.
That said,
That's embarrassing.
Well, the reason that I picked up on it
That's
is 'cause
awkward.
I was watching the
But you
show
don't
and I'm
know
like,
when you're watching. You have
I'm
to do
like-
the research
Well,
to
except for
figure
I was
that out.
watching it and I went, how are they being stealthy if they got a cameraman trying to walk behind
Exactly.
them?
But it also says
Yeah.
that at the end of the episode too, so it balances out.
Yeah, but then they get put in the prison and they have to like they stay outside in tents basically, shelters outside in the freezing cold, and then they have to kind of survive in that element. But then they play tag the next day, so it's like this continuous tag.
I thought this was a blast.
Yeah, I
this
thought it
is
was
the
so much
show
fun.
I would want to go on.
Really?
Honestly,
Yeah.
yes.
This was a show that they did a lot of advertising for Hunger Games because that was so big at the time.
Yeah.
Worst decision they ever made because it made a lot of people, because I heard about Capture when it first came on, but even I didn't want to watch it because I thought that it was like basically saying, oh man, like we are deteriorating as a society if we made Hunger Games a reality game show. And a lot of people were commenting on that, even searching it on Facebook. Some of my old friends like had posts all the way from back then, like criticizing the show without watching it. Honestly,
Unfriended.
One of the best shows I have ever watched, and 24 cast members, perfect cast size for any production.
They ran out of colors is what they
had
did. They're like blue team, teal team, green
Mauve.
team, lime team.
Tier 1.
Tier 2,
Whoa.
number 9. I was really sad. I love the show. It's just fun.
I gave it tier 2 as well.
Yeah.
You said it's
tier
one of
two.
the best shows ever.
Yeah.
that you've
He said
ever
that
seen.
about every show we've talked
But
about.
then it was
What
number
are you talking
9.
about? No, I didn't say that about
said that
Survivor.
about Scream
I didn't
Queens.
say that. Look, Capture is better than Big Brother.
Okay.
Yeah. And American Grit. Like, I love Capture. It's in my top 10, but like, I had to do the tiering. It would be tier 1, but because it's max 7, tier
All right.
2.
Right.
All right, next show is King of the Nerds.
11 contestants battle in various challenges as they set out to win $100,000 and be crowned the greatest nerd of them all.
I think Kent would do good on this show.
3 seasons, 24 episodes.
I don't know what to
I mean-
I just like the pregnant pause
This is
after that.
2013 to 2015
No,
on
I'm
TBS.
just saying, like, because they need nerds of all.
Do you know
different
why
types.
I do well on the show?
I think
it's
that-
because they're acting.
Oh my goodness! You're such a.
This is the Big Bang Theory of nerd reality
I
competition
thought
shows.
you being a pessimist on the show was acting, and now I'm realizing it's not. I don't know what
You're telling me when the 2 main cast members from Revenge of the Nerds came walking out, you
I
did not
loved
go,
it.
hey,
Yeah.
it's them.
It's Robert Carradine and Curtis Armstrong
They're the
from
hosts.
Supernatural.
Yeah.
Oh.
But no, I felt like this was so made up. And honestly, I judge most of these shows on production value, and the production value of this one was so cheap.
Yeah, it was.
They kind of use this like really cheap video
the
game sounding
house.
soundtrack.
And when you want to
No,
be
the
in
house
that
is
nerd
great.
house,
The house is great.
it's a nerd castle.
But just the entire show felt really flimsy. Like I'm like, how did this last? What was it? 3 seasons?
3 seasons.
Season-
In fact,
yeah.
it only got canceled because TBS did the restructuring of what they wanted to do, like the different types of the shows they wanted to do, and so they cut this one out, and there was a huge uproar.
Yeah. But it felt like it had the same awkward pace as the nerds would.
But it displayed the
Exactly.
different types of nerddom, which I like. They had the tech geeks and the fantasy geeks and the comic book geeks. Like, it was fun to see that.
And I actually didn't even want to show you guys season 1. I only showed you it because of the twist with like picking teams and then the last person who was the biggest nerd.
Yeah.
Like, because that was like that's what made the show super great, because it was just that twist. But I didn't even watch the first 2 seasons because they were just too for me. But season 3 really brought it out of the park. So if you're going to watch King of the Nerds,
I'll
watch
give season 3 a chance because this is tier 3 for me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I give this a tier 1.
So you
Really?
didn't, you couldn't even finish 1 or 2, but still went and watched season 3.
Yes, I did. 'Cause,
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I enjoyed
that's
it.
the thing. I have to give it a try, but I'm not like Kent where like I have to finish everything. Like
yeah.
I can stop.
This to me felt like the opposite of the Twinning show, where I felt everyone in here had a severe lack of ego, which I liked seeing. And I loved how when they got so much joy just by pouring paint on each other's heads. Like, I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
It's hard to watch.
It's tier 2, number 13. Better than Survivor.
Okay.
Also, there was a line where she said she likes Batman and I like Batman, so we're going to be friends. And I went, oh, Kent related to that.
Yeah. I did.
They had a life-size Batman in the house.
Ken would
awesome.
do,
It was
so
awesome.
good on this show.
I
You
would. Except for chess. They play chess, and I'm no good at chess.
well, you don't have to. Well, you don't play chess all the time.
But I did
Yeah, that's
enjoy.
true.
I did enjoy how they did like the battle chess and knocked.
Yeah, that was
Literally,
cool.
the winner of season 3 was determined by a game of Connect 4, and I'm still not over it.
Guess what?
Like,
I'm amazing at Connect 4.
bring it on.
Dude,
bring it
we-
on. No, I will
We'll
beat
freaking
you.
play. Oh,
okay.
you're just going to say you can beat me? Actually, let's play,
Yeah, no,
man.
okay,
All right,
no, bring
guys.
it on. No, okay,
Guys,
here's the
we
thing.
got show.
I
We
can
got show.
and will beat you.
I've never lost.
I've never lost either.
Oh,
I
it's
let
on.
people win. That's how
All right,
good I am.
we're bringing Connect 4 out. Matt has it in his backpack right now. We're gonna
Yeah.
put it.
You didn't know? What? It's like,
All right, here's the next show.
goodness.
Santa's in the barn.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds like a euphemism. Am I right?
Stop! No.
10 Santas from across the country are brought to live in a barn to compete with each other in an array of hilarious challenges meant to determine who most lives the Santa way.
This may be our shortest one because it only has 1 season and only 8 episodes.
Yeah.
This is in December of 2015.
So you get
on True TV.
$100,000.
and
America's
title
Best
of
Santa.
Best Santa.
Yeah.
So they take. Okay, I got annoyed right at the beginning because it's supposed to be Santa's in the barn, and then they bring in that creepy elf, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you're not a Santa, you're an elf.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? And he was creepy. Like
Yeah.
his face is made up. Like really shiny, and he's got these creepy eyes. And the whole time he's like, "Oh, I'm like the life-size elf on the shelf," and he's got these mittens on. And I'm like, "Dude, drop the act for 2 seconds."
Dude, that was so cool. What do
Jake,
you
some of the
mean?
challenges are putting presents on a sleigh and getting them to stay on, right, and get a certain height. Another one is breaking into a house and going down the chimney. With
Imagine
the
a
fastest
60-year-old man. Imagine a 60-year-old Santa having to scale up a wall and then jump down a coal slide. And just feel how the whole time you're just going to be tense, like, this guy's going to die on camera.
So
Jeez.
they had to take a Santocratic oath, which is all about joy and happiness.
Yeah.
And
I
then
like it. I'm in now.
They immediately turn on each other.
It's no, but
No,
that's
the older Santas
contestants.
didn't.
The
No, they
older
didn't.
the season divides the cast, which is what a good show's supposed to do. In the 2 sides, you have the original OG Santas that like all went to like Santa school,
Yeah.
and then the young
Santa
Santas who were kind of like the ones that
The
did it for the
jerk?
spirit of.
What's
Do you
his
know
name?
where the
Eric?
show failed? Besides no one really watching it, they didn't eliminate someone at the end of episode 1.
Yeah, that was the whole goal was to like, of course, get people to watch the next episode, but
Didn't
like
work.
you knew who was going home.
Yeah.
but it was fun. The only reason Santa's in the barn is low for me is because it didn't have 5 women and 5 men. But then I was like, okay, right, it's Santa's in the barn. So, but it was honestly a good show. I thought it was a good wholesome message. But
I give it a tier 2. What
yeah.
about you?
Tier 3, number 20.
I give this one a tier 3 as well.
Worse than Survivor.
I don't watch this one with kids. It'll just make them scared of Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
I love you.
it'll ruin
Actually,
Christmas.
Baconsale fans should probably watch the first 2 episodes because the second episode revolves around Krampus, and so that's a fun.
Yeah.
That's
we
a
don't
fun-
speak his name.
So that's a fun tidbit.
All right, next show is Solitary.
A social experiment in determining the physical and mental endurance of the competitors, hosted by Val, the AI.
4 seasons, 36 episodes.
Val.
This is 2006 to 2010 on Fox Reality, and the prize was $50,000. And all you had to do was sit in a room by yourself and be tortured.
Yeah.
This isn't
Actual
a
torture,
social
Jake.
experiment.
What?
This is torture. Literal torture. And it was
Social experiment.
torture to watch.
It was
For
so
example,
good.
Val could change the temperature in this room, and you just had to withstand it. And the first person...
Is it really an AI or someone controlling
it's
it?
someone, but
doing
it's a
voice
modulated
modulator.
voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, sit on this stool that is really uncomfortable for as long as you can. First
So,
one off is eliminated.
Can I actually give you some of the challenges on this show? So there's when everyone's
There-
asleep.
we should clarify. There's like 9 pods.
9 pods,
And one
and they're all
person
isolated.
And they
pod.
also reduce you to a number.
And yeah, and
it's
you're all isolated. Like you don't
so,
compete with anyone directly. In
Middle of
show.
the night, blaring siren goes off, and you can hit a button to turn it off. But if you're the first person to turn it off, you go home. Also, spinning in a chair over and over without vomiting.
Yep.
Lying on a bed of nails, consuming too much food. Listen to this challenge: tearing meat off a goat carcass and trying to guess 9 pounds.
You got to watch that episode.
Trying to
It's
guess
so
9
good.
pounds? What does that even mean?
This is like Saw.
This
you
is-
have to,
I have a note here. It's like Saw, but less gory.
yeah, you have to tear
It's so good.
flesh
9
off
pounds.
a goat's carcass and just guesstimate 9 specifically
And whoever's
pounds.
That's easy for
Closest
Jacob.
wins.
Yeah,
did that.
that wouldn't be any problem at all, actually. Yeah.
Guys, it was so good.
So the winner of season 2, he was so mentally exhausted and was starting to hallucinate. He was actually suspended with chains for the final challenge. He cried when they were like, "You win, you get $50,000." He cried for 25 minutes straight. He just got in the fetal position and cried.
Yes.
Not
'Cause
because he
it's-
won, because he was glad it was over.
Yes.
He was
And-
going
Oh, that
nuts.
sounds right.
It seems mean spirited, honestly, when I watch the show, and it's kind of
Production
boring.
value is the worst, too.
It's kind of boring. Well, it's just like one camera, like a,
Yeah.
a CCTV camera in the corner. But it's like also just really kind of boring not to have humans interact with other humans.
So it's like, what would
Yeah.
Baconsale do?
Kind of.
kind
yeah.
of, but
little bit.
less gory. I didn't get behind this one at all. This was a tier 3 for
Tier
me.
3 for me, too.
Ouch.
The concept is cool, but it is hard to watch because the
It
production
is.
is
Yeah, I
not
went, oh,
good.
this is going to be interesting, and then I went, I'm watching people being tortured, and I
And
don't
it's an
like
hour
it.
long,
Yeah.
too.
Maybe it's because
Oh, wow.
maybe it's
Yeah.
because I was like 10 when I first watched it. But it
2
is-
years ago.
It is tier 1, number 5. One of the greatest shows I've ever watched because it is like really top 5.
Hey, guys. American Ninja Warrior Senior Edition. Real or fake?
Fake.
It's fake. Kid, you win the next prize.
No, there was no points. Now we're tied because he was one below me, remember?
Oh, that's
Joel,
true.
we just make up the
now
rules
you're
as we go.
tied. Now you're tied. All right, the last show we're going to tier here,
Glad you said that one.
The Quest.
Contestants face a variety of fantasy-themed challenges in the fictional kingdom of Everrealm.
I was hoping you'd do that in like an accent.
Oh, yeah.
One more time with an accent.
No, don't. It's okay.
One season.
This one
2014.
season, 10 episodes in 2014 on ABC. I'm not sure what the prize was. I had a big question mark on this one. I couldn't figure out exactly what the prize was.
Matt can tell you.
But this is like immersion in reality.
Complete.
Like this is a game show for LARPers.
Yeah.
It's pretty staged and pretty corny, but they literally took the contestants to a castle in Austria. And they decked out this castle with the sets
Wow.
and cast members
Yeah.
and extras.
Everyone was a cast member.
And then the contestants are there. And the thing is, the actors, they do okay. But then the contestants are in there and they're like, "Did you find the arrow?" And I'm like, oh my gosh, they are not actors.
Yeah.
Like, Jake, there are trolls. There are goblins in this show.
This sounds interesting.
It's
Yeah.
a really good show.
It was,
It's a really great show, actually. This was the first one in this challenge. This is my favorite one. Just
What?
because of the immersion and the fact that they went to a kingdom and it was based on like...
but it
the-
was so corny.
Oh,
kid.
so corny. But it's the fantasy element that really brought me in.
'Cause they leaned
and made
into it, it
seem
sounds like.
less catty and less drama than
I
most.
guess, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I was like, I don't know. It seemed really slow too. Like I'm like, yeah, let's have them just hang out in a jail cell for a while. Sure, let's not keep the show moving.
Yeah.
And then like
Yeah, it is a pretty slow start for the season.
and this is the production team that produced The Lord of the Rings and The Amazing Race, and so it was like
Wow.
a weird thing where I'm like, wow, they're putting a lot of.
You know what's really
Effort
sad
into this.
is it was only one season, and they wanted to do 12 seasons for 12 kingdoms. So every season would have a kingdom.
They just not have the viewership?
It cost way too much.
Oh yeah, this was
Yeah.
the huge production. Like it looks good, and if I were a contestant on the show,
Yeah.
it would be amazing because like you're put in this escape room, but it's a whole world.
Yeah.
But watching it, there was a disconnect there where I'm like, I'm believing the actors, I'm not believing the contestants.
Yeah. The
Right.
contestants were all, iffy.
So I gave this one a tier 2.
Oh, wow.
Because
Interesting.
I enjoyed it, and I was like, this is a cool experiment, but it wasn't one that I'm like, I need to know what happens here.
Yeah.
Get tier 1?
Oh, tier 1, absolutely. This is my favorite on the list.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good choice. The Quest is number 1, tier 1. The best competition show. The best reality competition.
Finger boob.
Oh, you got a finger
I got a
boob.
new finger boob. But no, The Quest, when I first heard about it, when I first watched it all throughout the entire season, every reality competition show I've ever seen, The Quest is the best reality competition show I've ever watched in my entire life.
Yeah.
Because it showed the storyline that reality competition has always been able to tell. And it was the first one to actually tell a full out storyline that wasn't just about the human experience, which is what most shows like to focus on, if you care about focusing on the storyline.
This was I should clarify. This was that got bumped out to tier 2, meaning I had it there before, but then it kept getting pushed down until it got bumped out. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good one.
It's just
I would
different
like to see
enough.
more. Yeah, it was different.
Yes.
That's why I enjoyed it.
I really like because there was endurance. You had that first challenge in the first episode you watched where they got a piece, and you need all the pieces to win. And they did something similar in the Quest where if you stood out, you got a medal or something.
You're building a golden spear.
Yeah, but the medals were pointless. They were just for show and just for the story. But that's what made the show stand out, is because they weren't focusing on the competition. They were focusing on the story. And that's what reality competition is that it can tell a story and you have a set amount of characters and there's going to be only one at the end, but it's just about figuring out who's going to be the one at the end. And that's what I just love about it. And so anyway, I just really appreciated this show so much, and it is my favorite show of all time.
Matt, what would you say your top 3 is then? Your top 3 reality competition
The Quest,
shows?
number 1, Home Free, number 2, Endurance, number 3. But Endurance is just because of
the nostalgia.
the nostalgia, probably.
We do that all the time on the show.
Yeah, we do.
But without Endurance in there, Love in the Wild is number 3, which seems questionable to me. So
Wow. That
yeah,
seems
I feel
surprising.
because I only did the rank down of the 21 shows I had you guys watch. I need to do one with all of the game shows.
You said that one taught you a lot about love and things, so it had an impact.
It did have an impact, but come on, it's just not that good. It's tier 1 good, but it's just not that good.
Here's the thing, though, Matt. If you're going to come on Baconsale, we really need you to do your research and to know your topic.
I'm sorry.
Okay?
I know. I needed to do more research.
Of all these things, I feel a little let
I'm
down.
sorry.
So there you go. Matt, I just want to say, first of all, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you
But
guys.
seriously,
Yeah. So much
I
fun.
want to say sincerely, thank you for the shows you let us watch, because I've really enjoyed just learning about these shows I'd never heard of before, and then watching them. It was fascinating. So thank you for that from me.
Thank you for opening my eyes to stuff I would never care to watch, but I'm so glad I have watched these. Because now I know the good, the really good, because I watched some of the really bad.
Yeah.
And so The Quest, Love in the Wild, even Capture, these are shows I really, really like now. I'd probably watch.
Yeah, I know.
And I did
They're
go
all
through
really
each
good.
one and figure out who won it.
Yeah.
Just so I could watch that first episode and kind of track what they were doing in that first episode.
And by the way, you can catch most of these on YouTube.
Yeah, the majority of them are on YouTube. I remember the first time I sent the link, Kent made a slight comment a couple weeks ago about having to go to weird sites.
Yeah.
And I was like, me, because literally...
He loves weird sites, though, be honest.
He probably does.
Got a few cookies on my computer now.
Yeah, to get into reality competition, some of the best shows, the copyright has just taken them completely offline, and so you have to be really creative and really dive deep to find the sites, because a lot of them are still
Makes
available
sense.
online, but
Yeah.
just in really poor versions and poor qualities.
Yeah.
But there's actually a fair amount on iTunes, which is nice, except I can't download them. Actually download. It's fine. I'm over it.
Are you over it, though?
If I say it enough, I'll believe it eventually. Probably. Hopefully.
But so Matt, I was going to say thank you for that, and we hope that you we piqued your interest with some of these. Let us know which ones interest you, the listener, so you can actually let us know, and let us know if we missed any as well. Matt, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to, or anything you want to plug here?
I just wanted. I had people, and no, I don't remember. Just thanks to my parents for supporting me with Endurance and hosting that all 8 years, and just love all my friends and my family. Please,
Nice.
and please follow me on YouTube, Fire Auto Productions. I still host game shows and all that, and so it's fun. But
There you go.
that's all I'll say.
Fire Auto Production.
Yeah, say it again.
Fire Auto Productions. It's like Fire and then OTTO, because that's my name.
Oh, not like a car. Like
yeah, not a
OTTO.
car. Yeah, and then Productions. I hope you know what that word is. And
Yeah.
Fantastic.
it'll be good.
All right.
So if there's a producer of Survivor that's listening, please cast me. I will do anything, even Survivor Dream Team. And I know I would never be on the show.
18 out of 21.
But they don't care. They just need people who are willing to work for free. And that's
diverse.
me.
They need diversity.
Please, they do need diversity. That's the number one thing that's helped me so much. Can't even deny it. I'm raised by a white family, so like white's just like my normal. And then when I get to say, oh yeah, I'm Tongan, like I just get all these benefits, and it's so great. Like people cast me more often. I was at Lagoon and they got to ride in the front seat because I'm Tongan. Like that was cool. And like that was cool. It was a commercial. They needed more diversity in the front. They looked at me and was like, hey, you're ethnically diverse. My agent said I'm ethnically diverse. And I was, no, I'm diverse, ethnically ambiguous. That's what she said. I'm like, you're perfect. You're ambiguous. I'm like, yes. Don't know what that means. But yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my God.
Okay, I'm sorry. Have a great day. I appreciate you.
But we would like to thank the I Am the Listener category. So let's thank Terry Finley, A More Civilized Podcast, Stephen Ross, Adrian Gray, Greg Pascal, and Josher. Also, we'd love to thank the Bacon Council. Mats, thank you so much.
That's my name. He said my name on the show.
We say it all the time. And
They do.
We sing it all the time. That's the
they do.
important thing.
That's true.
Also, we'd like to thank Nicole D. Hale, Chris Anderson, Ryan Farron, and the Reverse Listener. Thank you, everyone.
But if you want to find me, you can find me at 76Joel on Twitter, or you can find me performing with Quick Wits. They perform every Saturday night at the Midville Performing Arts Center. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to the Quick Wits Facebook page.
If you want to find me on Twitter and Instagram, it's at Kenny3DD. If you want to read my movie reviews, at ShowtimeShowdown.com.
You can find me on Twitter at Jacob A. Rogers. And make sure you find Baconsale on Twitter and on Instagram at Baconsale. Also, go and support us. One more plug here for the Torture Jacob campaign that's going to end in 8 days. So if you have anything you want me to eat, watch, whatever it is, join Patreon or upgrade in Patreon. Sorry, Matt, that won't work for you here at the top.
I actually have something I want to torture Jake with.
Oh,
too.
really? Okay.
That's-
Well,
I'm sorry.
Make an
yeah,
exception
well,
for Bacon Council members.
yeah,
Okay.
maybe we'll see what it is if I like it. And yeah, make sure you do that in the next 8 days by the end of September, and then I will be doing the video reviews on Patreon of how those things have gone
And
during
you'll be
October.
entered to win Scary Date with Bacon.
And do not forget, and Matt, you are entered to win that.
Yes. Cool.
All the patrons are.
So until next time, the tribe has spoken. Time for you to go.
Boo.
But don't objectify me, even though I'm doing the show in the nude.
Kent is naked.
My beard feels silky soft.
My beard is... Oh,
What happened to your beard?
what? I'm not a man.
Who are you,
What?
little
Who
boy?
burped?
Jacob, as usual. He's the gaseous one.
Ethnically ambiguous.
Based on your intensity right
No.
now, I know you're not kidding.
No.
They are aspiring
no.
actors.
No.
You can say no all you want. That's what
No, that's not true.
Matt, we good? You want a hug?
No, it's fine. Slaughter means you're still alive, probably.
I do okay in the social game until I got hungry or uncomfortable.
But you know what, Joel? It's okay. Only Slackjawed Yokels would rank Survivor Tier 1.
Total Drama Island.
Can you
Sounds
get the
like
premise
Kent's
of this one?
dating life. Am I right?
Now they're bawling, and now I'm bawling.
Well,
Exactly.
I'm crying.
If God were to have a game show, it would be Home Free.
Another contestant that got killed by a cougar, where they had to have a dummy
Yeah.
attack the cougar.
Wait, like
That's
a
awesome.
single older,
no,
older woman?
like an animal. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, like
I'm actually just obsessed with J.D. Roth.
I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming myself for listening to you.
Better than Survivor. That's all that matters.
No.
Yeah, that's probably true.
No. Oh my gosh, he was such a creeper. No, you guys were way too seductive on that. How dare you? You are not the hottest lady here in the house. You are unbelievably freaking hot.
The winner is going to receive a fabulous prize.
I'm sure it'll be fabulous.
It will be
Is it
fabulous.
$250,000?
Up to. Oh no, we're that insensitive.
I wouldn't think they would be insensitive, but yet they were.
Ankles are hot.
It's a really interesting.
Those are hot.
You're one that
Naked ankles are tight.
Just have.
We're trying to
has
help
to.
you not be insensitive.
I would do anything for money. Honestly, it's a problem.
You're not very good at this, Joel.
Saddest day of my life is realizing that Ruff wasn't real. Oh,
Animated dog, man.
all-nighters every night in kindergarten. Dude, best life ever.
Matt, can I
Greatest
just
time of
bring
my life.
you with me everywhere I go?
Yes, please do.
Okay.
Let's be best friends. Well, I don't have to please help me all the time, so they're really nice.
The greatest nerd of them all.
I think Kent would do good on this show.
Oh, I'm like the life-size elf on the shelf.
I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it.
Are you over it, though?
If I say it enough, I'll believe it eventually. It was really fun. I beat out a girl in a wheelchair.